I have witnessed a murder tonight, and it kept Tifa from falling asleep.
Basically, yes.
You can tell from Tifa's super high energy that this somehow involves her in ways you might not have anticipated as I just muttered these words. So here's the skinny of what happened. We went to bed yesterday. Stream was a little bit longer because we finished floor 796, or what's there of floor 796 currently. Then we went to bed. And roughly 3 hours later, at 3:30 in the morning, I woke up because Tifa was tossing and turning. And I could feel a horrible itching on my foot. And Tifa was cursing. I couldn't fall asleep anymore. And it turned out that we were home to the single most greedy, gluttonous mosquito ever created by nature. Tifa got stung, bit 9 times. I got 1. They're really itchy. And I just got up, went to go pee, went back to sleep, and as I re-entered the scene of a crime, aka our bedroom, Tifa had turned on the lights, and she was in full hunter mode, full 360-degree vision, 1500 seconds to kill the target enemy, equipped with no less than, I think, 2 socks, slapping nunchuck-style Bruce Lee. Couldn't have done it better, away at the air until eventually
That was very effective.
she murdered the mosquito. Then I went back to bed and I fell asleep again. That was fine.
Oh, nice.
And Tifa, because of the 9 horrible mosquito bites, couldn't sleep anymore. So Tifa slept about 3 hours tonight.
Bit less.
Apparently less.
And I'm old. I don't do well anymore with no sleep.
And she's still here to do Higurashi with us tonight.
Yeah.
Beautiful, thank you for all the words. Sometimes you might wonder, why is Jack talking so much? Why is Tifa talking so little?
Because tired.
That
but as for
being
this
said,
motherfucker, I have 2 in my neck. Those are not zits, if you can even see them in
Don't
the camera.
touch it,
I
next
have
to
1
us.
in the back, 1 on my ass, 2 on my sides, 1 on the side of my finger, which is the worst because this does not stop itching. I have 2 on my arm as well, and 1 on the side of my foot.
kinda sounds like foreplay.
Unfortunately, some I don't feel right now. But my head suddenly gets itchy.
It's okay, Tifa, you don't have to acknowledge anything I'm saying. Welcome in,
Mosquitoes.
Dark Lord, congrats on being second. Nice. Welcome in, nice and early. Impressive, impressive. Welcome in, Psycho. Welcome in, everybody.
Cheers.
How are you all doing? Did you sleep more than 3 hours? I
I
have.
hope you all had less mosquitoes in your house.
I did already pump a strong double the amount of coffee per coffee into Tifa an hour ago, so it has time to work and hopefully gets her through the stream but doesn't keep her awake afterwards. We need to dose Tifa so that she is like on at operational temperature, you know, during the stream, and then the moment the lights turn off, she can crash.
If there aren't any mosquitoes anymore, that's the question.
I have closed all windows. They have been closed all day, except for a little bit to let in some air, because, you know, that's kind of important sometimes.
We're gonna find out.
But it should be mosquito free. I haven't heard any.
If there's one in this house, it will find me.
Probably. You have really nicely smelling blood, apparently. Because we always go for her.
Yeah.
9 bites, 1 bite.
It's already shocking you only got 1.
You are
I think
quite
I
the
got more
snack.
than 9.
You are quite the snack. Just saying. Dark Lord got around 5-ish, but it was also too cold in the house somehow. That's... That's
That's also really annoying.
5 is a horrible a horrible amount of hours for me to get sleep. I have learned, thanks to my newfangled smartwatch thingy, that my sweet spot is 7.5 to 8 hours. Less and I feel it, more and I don't feel it. Or it feels like I've slept badly. So 7.5 to 8, that's what I'm trying to aim for. And I can actually tell the difference. I didn't want to believe it, but apparently, you know, when all of those scientists tell you sleep hygiene is a thing, try to fall asleep around the same times, try to sleep for a certain amount of time. I never believed that until I tried doing it. So I'm not saying buy a smartwatch, I'm saying believe the science.
I don't even mind getting less sleep. Like, I can be perfectly fine with like 5 or 6 hours of sleep. But I need to wake up naturally. If I get woken up by an alarm, I'm absolutely dead. But usually, like in the weekend, even without an alarm, I also wake up around 6 or so.
That is true for me as well.
But then I'm not tired. When I wake up at 6 during the week, I'm exhausted.
Is it the same for you? I have found that the way not the way I set my alarm, but the way my alarm works also influences how I feel after I woke up. Because I used to just turn on the alarm on my phone, and that was the most shrill, obnoxious sound I could pick from the default one, so that I would wake up. Because if I go for a quieter one, I have slept through that before. But since we bought them, I set the alarm on my watch, which vibrates. No, it's not gonna take your hand off or like your arm off, but you can tell.
There's sound too.
And it has a normal alarm sound. Like, it doesn't do anything magical. But somehow the combination of, you know, usually that not being as loud to my ears as the phone laying on my nightstand and the vibration, I feel like I wake up without the startling realization of, I need to get up. It's more like okay, I'm awake, I should get up.
Disagree with that. Never had an issue with that. But okay. I can see why it's a better way to get up for you.
It's a Jack thing, apparently. Also, welcome in, Ranger.
Got exactly 6 hours of sleep again, but at least this time I slept with my eyes closed this time. Sleeping with your eyes open is so creepy. Yeah. My little brother did that once on the couch, and we all thought he was dead. Like,
checked his breathing, right?
My mom already started freaking out, so I went over, started shaking him, and he woke up.
I fell asleep
it's so creepy.
With my eyes open once, and funnily enough, I remember being in like this almost fully asleep state, but also having my eyes open. Like, I remember laying there, and it usually...
Isn't that normal? That's the before you doze off phase. That's different.
No, usually I don't recall what happens in like the last 5 to 10 minutes before I fell asleep. It's just, I can't access that memory if it ever got saved in my brain. But I remember laying on my bed. I was like 8 or 9 at the time. I remember lying there. I was confused with you know what I mean. Flat, in the bed. And I had my eyes open and I looked straight up. But it didn't feel like I was looking at the ceiling. It just felt like I was laying there, relaxed, like I had my eyes closed, except I could see. And then I just dozed off. It felt weird, in hindsight too. Like, I remember having my eyes open for at least a large part of it.
Don't think I ever have.
Tifa, you're just too sweet, apparently. Yeah. I still think it has to do with her blood type. Is that a thing? Have we ever googled that? Let me double check.
It's painful to sleep with eyes open. My eyes get red and swollen when it happens. Yeah, I can get that. Yeah. Like, it starts drying up, especially since you don't blink probably.
Yeah.
Maybe before you go to sleep, you should have this ritual where you tape them shut.
You should not tape shut your eyes unless
it's done. Tape.
Unless it's done by a professional, like when you are being put under for an operation or something. Don't just put tape over your eyes, people. According to healthline.com, from an article from 16 September 2020, Out of all the blood types, mosquitoes may have a preference for the blood type O.
Oh, that seems about right.
Mosquitoes may also be attracted to body odor, heat, and dark clothing. So the fact that Tifa is a goth hottie with blood type 0 is probably why she gets 9 and I get 1 mosquito bite per night.
And they are less attracted to individuals with group A blood. You probably have A.
I could check. I think I have a document about that somewhere.
Why do I think you're A?
I'm just basic as fuck. I mean,
I'm A positive. How often is Kelly the one that gets stung with you guys?
Assuming she has blood O, blood type. Is it O? Is it 0? It's O, right?
Everything other than A. If their least preference is A.
Yeah, but still, I don't think the mosquito's gonna go like, yeah, I'm gonna starve.
Well, no, but if they have a choice.
That's true, like an all-you-can-bite
obviously,
buffet.
it's an all-you-can-eat buffet here.
And it was 1 mosquito. I don't even know.
I'm not sure if it was 1, but...
You killed 1 and then it was gone. Do you really think they came through the open window we had cracked open for the night and they just kept doing circles like...
I wouldn't be shocked.
Like lunch runs or something?
I would not be shocked.
Of course they love donor types. I know, right? They just know that Tifa's okay with giving it away.
Yeah, I did not consent for mosquitoes. How do I undo that?
What are you doing?
Something was in my tea.
Skin.
That's not skin.
I need to...
That's a piece of Ingwer.
That's what I'm saying, skin. I need
that
to
type of skin.
elaborate on this.
Don't you thought I just plucked off a piece of skin and dropped it?
Welcome to Austin Powers Gold member. Tifa asked me to make ginger tea before the stream, and so I did. And because I love her very much, I didn't just chop the ginger into little bits, I grated it because that releases even more flavor. And apparently I also grated some of the ginger root skin in there. And now Tifa was removing that from her tea. You're welcome, everybody. No cannibalism here.
Yeah, I'm not much of a skin person anyway.
But that's the crispy part. Usually.
Yeah, but it's so hard to get crispy skin right.
What?
Like, I do like chicken skin, for example. But quite often it's still a bit like soggy and not crispy, and it's not nice.
Okay, we're talking about food here. Alright, I cannot add anything to this conversation because it's been too long for me. You don't know that Tifa isn't made of ginger?
That is true.
I can tell you she doesn't consume enough ginger to be made out of ginger.
There is a higher chance I'm made out of cheese, though.
I'm genuinely shocked that like Tifa gets like a status report on the quality of her blood every now and then because she's a blood donor. And I am shocked that none of her values are bad.
No, my values are pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm amazed because I didn't think our diet was that healthy. I was pretty sure it was gonna be like, maybe you should cut back on some of the fat, like the amount of cheese you eat, but apparently that's not the case. It's a good thing.
Wasn't really an issue, I guess. Or not something they check for. I'm not sure what that affects in your blood.
Tifa, if they put a needle in your arm and cream cheese comes out, I'm pretty sure they would tell you, thank you for offering, but we're good. Just a hunch.
Well, it would take a long time then, won't it?
The cheese Skritos were out. Wait, cheese?
I don't know what that is, but it sounds like a tube with like this liquid cheese, and I am in for it, even though that usually isn't that nice.
Also, for some reason, I know you're playing off of mosquito, and I know how to pronounce mosquito, at least I think I do, but somehow seeing it like this makes me think squito, and then I think like squirt tube kind of thing, like what my associate went for. When the itch is so bad, you have to pull out the secret move.
Sometimes teeth work better.
Sometimes teeth are the only thing that works, if you ask me.
Yeah. Especially on such an annoying spot.
It's right on the knuckle.
It is deep enough that I feel like outer scratching doesn't work.
Tifa, the more you play with it, the more you focus on it, the worse it gets. And Tifa...
I've already done... I should have burned it a little bit.
Stop it. Here's a question for all of you. Are you Team Jack, which is... I just avoid thinking of my mosquito bites if I can? Or are you Team Tifa, who scratches so hard sometimes to the point where she bleeds? Really?
No, just little scratches. I just had to double check.
Why do you do that?
Because it's itchy.
Yeah, but it's still gonna itch after, and you scratched yourself open.
No, I feel like it's usually less than.
I give up with you. What I won't give up on, however, are Tifa's wonderful recaps, which can only be great given the state this person is in. Tifa, what has happened the last time we played Higurashi When They Cry Chapter 7, Minagoroshi?
The last time we played, Rika believed that her last day on Earth has arrived.
That's partially true. That's not where we started. So last time we played Higurashi Chapter 7, When They Cry Minagoroshi,
nothing before that really happened.
we were still in school, and the gang came together and decided, hey, it seems like something is really bothering Rika, so whatever she tells us after all we've been through, we should just listen to her with an open mind and see what we can do to help her, because she looks really down. Eventually, Keiichi does approach her, and they have a little bit of a conversation. Rika doesn't exactly tell him what's going on. Her whole... I'm worried about why did Tomitake die? What happened to Takano? All of these things.
If I tell you, you could die too.
Exactly, and I think the mountain dogs, who you don't know about because we have a super secret, evil, maybe military unit organization, I can't tell you anything because that would risk your life, so I just don't want to.
But true, she did say that she believes she's going to get killed.
Yes, that is true. She also told him about a poem which Keiichi believed was written by her. She didn't confirm or deny it, but it was about attaining happiness and compromising for it, and that it's very hard to achieve. It was a cute little moment. After that, we cut to the next morning, where Rika wakes up in her and Satoko's home, realizing today is the day. It's not just because today is June 22nd and that's when I die. It's also because I can feel it. I know this feeling that I'm having right now, and this feeling only happens on the days I die. Which is strange to me, but I'll accept it. Satoko tries to get through to Rika because Keiichi told the others about what happened. Rika doesn't open up to her. Long story short, Rika then has a breakdown and considers, what am I still gonna do? I could have done more in this life, maybe. I've done some things, so is now still the time to try to do something? Or should I just give up for the rest of his life? Eventually, she decides to still do her homework. That's the metaphor she uses.
Before that, she decides that she's going to stay home, call in sick. Yeah. So Rika doesn't go to school, and Satoko goes away, in case you're wondering. So she's no longer there. She went to school. Rika then gets a phone call from Sonoki. What's his name?
Okonogi.
Okonogi, the mountain dog leader.
Got a voice change, because originally you voiced Okonogi because I was doing multiple voices that day. And then last time I voiced Okonogi, and I believe my headcanon is Okonogi has undergone voice change training to stay deeper undercover.
It feels like I got a mosquito sting in my nose too.
I think you're just drinking your ginger tea too fast.
No, it was already itchy before.
My nose is also really itchy, so maybe there's something.
But yeah, we get a call from Okanogi, and he's very happy that Rika decided to stay home because that makes things easier.
Because somebody is out to kill you, but if you are staying home, it's easier for us to protect you.
So they are upping security to keep an eye on her. Rika is happy about that, hangs up, and in between we also learned that Okanogi's team is actually out to kill Rika. Because the plan is to have her killed today and have her body found the next morning according to some project or operation they have.
Project Eclipse.
No.
Doomsday.
That's fairy tale once
again. Project Doomsday. Sorry. An ominous sounding thing.
So we do at least know that they are the ones behind the murder of Rika. Rika not fully believing Okanogi and the mountain dogs, because if Takano is in on the whole murder, then the mountain dogs probably have something to do with it too.
Yeah,
so she
real
decides...
quick, there's a whole like deductive scene about, well, Takano is dead, Tomitake is dead, Irie is still there. Okanogi is telling me a story of how this is all Irie's fault, but I know Irie and he isn't like this. So what if Okanogi is lying, then the people from Tokyo seem to be lying, and that's all of them. So I don't believe him, and I should do something about the situation.
So she decides that some extra security doesn't hurt, and she also calls Oishi, who was going somewhere, I don't know.
He was on his way to Gifu to check on Takano's burned corpse.
Oh yeah, but he did send three police guards to Rika's place afterwards, which makes the mountain dog's job a little bit harder because now there's also police guarding Rika.
Yeah.
Until Oishi comes back and he promised to drop by in the evening, and I think that is where we saved.
Yeah, then we had a scene transition and then we stopped for that. Indeed. If he smoked, would he be a Smokonogi or a Tokonogi?
I'm not sure what a Tokonogi is. But Smokonogi works.
Smokonogi.
Sounds like a Pokemon.
Both of those could be, yes. That I agree with. Smokonogi, I think, would be cigarettes or cigars. Tokonogi would be the devil's lettuce. Marijuana. The hashish.
Yeah, sounds right as an evolution.
Okay, so do you think Oh my god. I am team neither. I believe Okanogi is straight edge. No alcohol, no drugs. He always goes to sleep at the right time. All of these things, he treats his body like the most sacred temple. While he can, off duty. For the mission, he'll do anything it takes. But off mission, he is basically like a monk.
I forgot I also have one on my knuckle.
How about you give me a hint?
No.
Give me a hint.
No.
I will make it better.
Keep going. How do you say the devil lettuce in German? How about you answer that?
I have no idea. I don't do weed. I don't hang out with people who do in Germany. So I don't know. What do people say?
Don't think devil's lettuce is really used in German.
I don't think so either. Slang for marijuana in German.
I mean the words devil and lettuce.
Oh, okay, that I can explain to you. Devil is Teufel, if we're talking about the biblical sense, the bad guy in hell. And lettuce would be Salat. Also Teufelssalat. Now I spoke a whole German sentence. So that would be Teufelssalat. Yeah, with two S's though, because the devil's lettuce. So you would have to add one extra. But like this is fine, everybody would understand. I think most people would think you're talking about some weird regional food product that we've never heard of. Because I don't think we use that. But close enough.
No, it's in this case actual double S. Not
correct.
The SZ, but SS.
Now you went full German and you never want to go full German. I understand why you would, but the SZ, the thing you used, isn't technically a double S. It's a long S sound, whereas the S at the end of Teufel would be a possessive S because it's the devil's, like in English. And then there's an extra S because of a salad starting with S. Nobody needs German. No, that's the wrong button. Nobody needs German lessons from me. I'm really bad at this. Oh look, it's a Higurashi. And now we're about to cry. And I didn't load the game yet. Doo-doo. Now you could see the menu again. Hooray! That's still you, Tifa.
I was left with nothing else to do after washing the dishes and cleaning the room.
That's gonna be me in 2 weeks when Tifa is gone for good.
As if you would. The mountain dogs and police were protecting me. Just in case, I figured I should leave something behind for Satsuko. Should I write down some recipes for her in the notebook?
Oh, don't make me cry already.
Will she be happy if I leave a will for her? I laughed at my own foolishness. No one would be happy to read a will. If I die, they'll be devastated and wonder why I didn't talk to them. That's exactly how I felt when Satoko didn't ask for any help when her uncle was abusing her.
I was checking if the microphones pick up the scratching sound from Tifa. They don't, unfortunately.
I wonder, will I be killed before Satoko even comes home? My memories of these days are never very clear. The day I die is always vague in my recollections. It's fine if I'm murdered before Satoko gets home. But if I'm murdered after, then would they kill her along with me? I don't want that to happen. It's bad enough already that I end up killed. If Satoko is murdered along with me each time, that would be too much to bear.
You know what I find kind of strange about this? To me, this feels like this is the first time Reina ever thought about it like this. And, I mean, at some point this will be... In this situation, at some point you will probably think about these things, and it will be the first time when you think about this. But given that she has allegedly lived for over 100 years, I assume she has died like, I don't know, 40 times at least?
I don't think she expects it.
Yeah, but still.
That's like she has said in the previous thingy as well, that she never thought about what happens after she died. How the rest moves on, how the rest has to move on with their lives.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. She had other things on her mind, I guess.
I want to say this falls under that same thing. Just how much have I ignored other people's sadness with the rash idea that the world ends when I die? Thinking about that made me feel truly ashamed of myself. Suppress eating.
Sorry.
I turned on the TV to try and reduce the silence, but it didn't help at all. Worse, not only did the TV not help with my fears, it felt like it symbolized Hanyu and my allies, making me feel even more unpleasant.
Every time Tifa confuses allies and allies.
It was past lunchtime, nearly 3 p.m. School should be out soon. I'm not there today, so they probably won't do a club activity. Satoko should be home shortly. It seems I'm going to survive until she gets home after all. If she comes home and asks me what's troubling me, I might end up telling her the truth. If I talk to someone, that person will be demoned away by the mountain dogs. That's why I've never spoken to anyone about it. I didn't want my friends to get into danger. But if Satoko was also murdered likewise in every world because she was involved with me, then we're doomed to share the same fate. It's better to know the truth than to be killed without knowing what's going on. But I'm under very strict security right now. I might be able to survive in this world. If that's the case, I shouldn't talk to Satoko about it. Won't be so easy to talk to my friends after all.
It seems like a horrible catch-22 situation.
Yeah, I'm
like
also
damned
not
if
sure,
you do, damned if you don't.
Also not sure what the best outcome is here.
I think if we've learned one thing throughout all the chapters of Higurashi so far is that good things seem to happen when we talk to each other.
Yeah, but if it's actually you in the situation, not looking at everything from the outside.
The only thing that so far reliably has changed things for the better is when people talked about it. That's been the most carrying message of this entire chapter. In the beginning, we had the whole, do I interfere with fate? Do I tell Keiichi that he should give a doll to Mion? Then after that, we had the whole conversation where we all came together. Oh, I had a dream and it left such an impact on me that I talked to Mion about this. And then I didn't end up killing my dad's girlfriend. All of these things. But talking scary. Talking important.
That's even worse. Moments later, I heard a surprised yell of Satoko's coming from downstairs. She'd returned. It sounded like she was scared to see a stranger in our home.
Oh, should be the police guy waiting downstairs.
I'd have to tell her that the police were here. That would be tantamount to telling her that someone is out to kill me. I don't know how to explain it to her, or how much I should tell her. However, my thoughts were soon interrupted by the noise of a crowd. It's...
Oh my god! Did Keiichi bring the Onigafuchi Guardians? If there is one, you should bring... What was it? If one is attacked, two should throw stones. If two are attacked, you should bring 4, 8, and eventually the whole village.
Could be.
They don't know what it's about, but they know, again, a villager is in deep shit. X to the second power. Yes, that's... X to the second power is indeed the slogan of Hinamizawa.
Don't you mean eggs? Satoko hadn't come home alone. I'm home.
I wanted to be the entire village driving away whatever is supposed to happen.
It seems a bit overkill if you don't know.
No,
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but especially not knowing what is going on. What are you gonna do? Yeah, it's just to show support, I guess.
Could chapter 8 actually be following chapter 7, where everybody survived and they're trying to keep living and trying to find out why all of this?
Well, we're not gonna get closer without you pressing A.
It's the town's mascot, it's different.
That is also true.
That as well.
Hey, Rika! What's up with that officer downstairs? Why is that guy guarding your house? What the heck did you do? Michan, that's not the right question.
It is the right question.
What happened to you, Rika-chan? Yeah, the question is, what happened, not what did you do?
It's the endearing way of asking it. Rika got in trouble for day drinking again. Whatever gets her out of being killed, I'm in favor.
It was just a sip. There were some strangers on the shrine grounds too. Are they also police officers? This isn't normal, you know, says the Yakuza.
We don't know what's troubling you, but we're all here to cheer you up. It looks like something bad is going on.
Ah. I couldn't stop laughing upon seeing everyone rush into my house, all asking the same questions. It made me feel as though being depressed all day had just been a waste of time. Rika, what on earth is so funny? You need to explain to us what is going on. There's nothing to explain. I'm getting murdered today.
Oh shit, she is telling them.
What? Everyone already knew that I'd been telling people about how I was going to be killed, but they were surprised to hear it from my own mouth.
Hey, Rika-chan, I heard that from you yesterday. You told me that you think someone is trying to kill you, but I thought it was one of your jokes then. Now though, you're not fooling me anymore. You have to talk to your friends.
Keiichi spoke with a harsh tone, as though I'd made him upset.
Well, you have.
As my friend, he must think that it's unforgivable that I didn't talk to him about it.
I do.
He wasn't the only one feeling that way, though. Every single one of them was looking at me with worried expressions on their face. Yeah, as they should.
And they're all here. How convenient. Exactly.
Handy, huh?
I love this. how many shows, how many movies have we seen where the core group of people are going through something and then, because the plot needs to happen, they go, oh no, I can't tell the people that I've been through all of these insane, crazy things with. I can't tell about what's bothering me. Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
It took 300 hours to get here, though.
I don't care.
Rika, everybody here saved me. I want to do something for my friends as well.
I'm glad to hear that.
Can't tell them I was bitten yesterday. Yes, you can.
Remember what you told me? You told me to have the courage to fight. But just look at you. You're not even fighting yourself.
Preach, Satoko, preach.
Satoko pointed out something that I've already realized. I had no way to argue back. You told me that you'll put us in danger by talking to us, but all of us are already involved, no matter if you talk to us or not.
That's also a good point. I don't think the mountain dogs are gonna care. They've spent so much time together, they could know something, so there are liabilities, so just off all of them, right?
Killing half of the youth population is a bit sus though.
Why? They went on a school trip and unfortunately the bus fell off a cliff.
But they never do.
They will. The area clinic is sponsoring a trip to Tokyo or somewhere. Like a class trip.
Hope they will.
Tifa, they want to apparently control a parasite that can destroy the world. I don't know, kind of Resident Evil, but whatever. So, do you really think they stop at killing a class of school kids out in the boonies?
To protect their project.
I think Rika is not dumb enough to fall for it.
Plus that.
That's right. We're your friends. If you're in danger, all of us are in danger too. When Satoko was in danger, we all fought for her, remember? It's the same thing.
If your life is in danger, then I think it's time for the Sonozaki family to step in. We're way more reliable than the police. Isn't that right, sis?
Also a good point.
That's right. You have to talk to us. What kind of trouble are you in? Who the hell is threatening to kill you?
Could have gone to Oreo. And they could have killed her already before, but why though? Yes, I still don't understand the why. We know who did it. It's Takano. Why? And does this have anything to do with the previous 4 years?
Well, it's part of a plan. I think it's safe to assume that they killed her every single time.
But are Takano and or / the mountain dogs or whoever is in charge of them ultimately also the people that are to blame for the murders in the previous 4 years?
I would think so. Oh, like that. I thought
Yes.
you meant...
Is the curse of Oyashiro-sama the doing of the group around the mountain dogs? Or do they just conveniently jump in here because it is in fact really just 5 individual cases? The first time the village really fucking hated the damn construction working guy.
No, I think they are for experiment's sake.
Based on how you're acting, I assume you don't even know who it is. If you did know, it wouldn't be as big of a problem.
Meep. You're all so smart. You know everything, even though I haven't talked to you yet.
This is not a time for jokes, Rika. You must talk to us. What's happened? What's this all about? You don't call the police unless you're really in danger, no? How dare you talk to the police before talking to us?
Ooh, Satoko with the gut punches.
Is the cause something you're uncomfortable talking to us about?
Rika would never have any issues that would be uncomfortable to talk about.
She's a pure shrine maiden. Calm down, Satoko. Rika-chan is the leader of the Furude family. She's worshipped as the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama in this village. She might have been in trouble for a long time, even though we didn't know about it. Maybe she just didn't want to talk to us about such trouble because we're all trying to have a fun life here in this village. That's probably what it was, right?
So it has something to do with Rika-chama and the village? It must involve those crazy old people who worship Oyashiro-sama.
Old people, the bane of our existence. Not all old people.
So it must have something to do with the curse of oyashiro-sama. I know. I bet it's related to what happened to Tomitake and Takano-san.
Why are they so much smarter than we are? Because they're just figuring it out like this, and we've been here for like 300 hours and still been like, but why did this happen?
Well, some of the things they're saying we have already realized.
No, we've asked. It's not like we actually realized.
They're just speculating, just like we have been.
I need one of them to go, what if Keiichi is Satoshi, and what if that person is a robot? Please do it for me. Make me feel seen, Higurashi.
Why would Tomitake-san's murder cause Rika-chan's life to be in danger? That's too big a leap.
Aliens. It's crazy just to think that someone is trying to kill her anyway. Rika-chan is bound by more obligations than we know, and she probably couldn't talk about them.
Like how we're all still talking to/about Rika next to her.
I'm right, aren't I? It's not a very fun topic, which is why you couldn't tell your friends, right? Because she doesn't tell them. So they might as well guess at her to try to whittle down the wall, showing her, hey, if this is it, we could think of it ourselves, and we're still here. We're still trying to help you. We're not gonna run away.
I cannot believe this. Is it really true, Rika? Is it really true that you're involved in Tomitake-san's murder case?
Unwittingly.
I remained silent, but with my mouth open. I hadn't answered any of their questions, but they continued to ask, and had eventually hit the nail on the head.
Just like me.
It was more surprising than anything. But then again, these are, after all, my beloved clubmates. I laughed once more. My issues and my secrets are so devastating to me, but they stopped sounding like such a big deal when everyone talked about them together. Murder isn't that bad if you talk about it in a group.
So we're all somehow infected with a thing nobody actually knows about. The Irie Clinic is the only place where they do know about it, and apparently the only place that has a cure / some sort of therapy to make us all not go crazy and kill each other, but we don't know what that is. Also, there's this weird murder cult / military organization happening that's kind of like black ops within the Japanese frickin' government. We are surrounded by trained serial murderers.
They knew exactly what was going on without me saying a word. In that moment, I realized just how powerless I am. I had to tip my hat to them. Everything seemed so foolish now. And so, I decided to just tell them everything.
Thank you.
If you want me to talk, I will. But I'm sure you won't believe me.
We're past that point. We will. As long as you tell us the truth, we'll never doubt it.
Everyone's expressions turned grave as they vowed not to make light of anything I told them. And so, I'm going to tell them everything. I want to see if they really will believe me or not. In that case, I'll tell you. I think I'm being targeted by the same person who killed Tomitake and Takano. Then, are they the true culprit behind the series of mysterious deaths? I don't know about that, but it is possible.
I don't understand. Why would Tomitake-san and Takano-san's murderer also want to kill Rika?
Ooishi thinks Takano is the culprit. Okanoki thinks that Irie is the culprit. Either way, it sounds like someone from Tokyo is trying to kill me.
Tokyo!
I can't tell if it's Takano or Irie, but I do know that to them, I'm like a trump card. In other words, or in order to explain everything, I'd need to talk to them about the relationship between Hinamizawa, Tokyo and the Irie Clinic.
Are we finally gonna get answers?
I don't think they'll believe me. I hope we kinda skip this part actually.
No, I want to know what's happening. What is this research? What is Hinamizawa syndrome? What is H173? What are the L's?
Unless Rika has all the details, we can skip the recap.
I think she might.
It's such a ridiculous story. But who would ever believe it if not my friends? You'll all be in danger if I talk to you about this.
You good,
sure
Rika?
you
You seem
still
to
want to hear
be
it?
something with your nose.
Yeah, I'm itchy all over.
Sorry.
Are you sure you still want to hear it?
Okay, now once more in character.
No, now I've said it 3 times.
You've said it twice, and the first time I talked over it, which I'm very sorry for. The second time you did bad. Maybe we can have one good take?
Are you sure you still want to hear it? It doesn't sound like it.
If we're gonna break Jack, no. No breaks. Only highest quality standards. Of course. If you're in danger, we're in danger.
Thank you, Psycho.
I will delete that command. It is being misused.
It has been correct every single time.
No.
Yes.
It has not been.
It has been used correctly every single time. And it hasn't been wrong a single time yet either. I can also agree with the press, yeah.
After Tifa reads the line, maybe.
Oh, true, we're waiting on it.
Yeah!
Everyone nodded at Keiichi's words. Well then. I'm going to see how everyone reacts. I'm going to ascertain what friendship is all about. With a nod of my own, I opened my mouth and began to explain. There's a disease unique to Hinamizawa. I'm not sure what it's officially called, but I've always known it as Hinamizawa syndrome. Everyone glared back and forth at each other when I mentioned the term. Oh, they glanced. Well, also good. They'd never heard of it before. The name Hinamizawa syndrome has actually been around since before the war. It's the general term for the severe homesickness and mental instability that people from Hinamizawa experience when outside of the village. People in Hinamizawa have refused to leave the village since the era of Onigafuchi. The villagers believed that they'd be cursed by oyashiro-sama if they left, and people who did often came back because of the curse. In general, it used to be thought of as only severe homesickness. But during the war, soldiers from Hinamizawa became mentally deranged in faraway places.
I would have thought that's because of a massive inbreeding in a small mountain village.
That does sometimes happen in the war.
Yeah.
What was unique about the soldiers from Hinamizawa was the way that they killed their own comrades and committed suicide at the end. One doctor became curious about these cases and studied the soldiers. That's when they found out that it was actually a disease only found in Hinamizawa.
And that doctor? Oyashiro-sama.
According to this doctor, their strange behavior was not the result of their culture. It was a mental disease triggered by external circumstances. A mental disease with an external cause is different from a psychological illness. It's the result of some kind of physical disorder, and it causes people to become mentally unstable when something triggers it. There are 3 categories of externally caused mental diseases: traumatically induced, substance abuse induced, and chemical imbalance induced. Traumatically induced disorders are cases resulting from damage to the brain from trauma or infection that influences the mind.
This is what you all get from watching us. Not making light of people actually suffering, that it's a joke. Just.
This is the reason personalities can change as a result of head injuries.
Type 1, kicked by a horse. For example, no cure known. Yeah, the cure is to keep watching. That's how we hook you in.
Substance abuse, as the name suggests, refers to cases where drugs, especially alcohol or stimulants, have influenced the mind. And the last category is chemical imbalances.
Type 2, I've eaten too much cocaine. I know you can eat cocaine, but are there actually people that just shovel it down like cereal?
It's like powdered sugar.
Probably. There is at least one person. I'm pretty sure Charlie Sheen might have during his height of substance abuse.
There are cases where some ailment in the patient's body causes abnormal secretions of bodily chemicals, which then influence the brain's functions.
So like pheromones.
This may sound odd, but it's been said that people tend to become depressed when they have a cold. We've all experienced the ways in which physical sickness can cause a buildup of negative emotions.
Okay, I see it.
However, with chemical imbalances, the cause is more direct. People's emotions aren't born from our hearts. Everyone should know logically that they're the result of chemicals secreted by the organs in our body as necessary. So when the organs operating the secretion of those emotional controllers malfunction, it causes them to secrete abnormal amounts. The thyroid gland, for example, secretes hormones that regulate emotions. When that gland is defective, the balance of those hormones becomes unstable. This can cause people to have not only a physical sickness, but also mental sickness such as depression. People don't get mentally ill just because of mental problems. Human beings are just made out of meat.
Why did you add the just, Tifa? That's not what she said. That is Tifa shining through in her interpretation of a line. You're all just food.
I mean, when it all comes down to it, yeah.
Technically, no. We are controlling a muscle. We are controlling a robot made out of bones, covered in muscles, covered in skin.
I wouldn't call it a robot, but
Well, that's the closest thing I could think of. A construct.
once you can eat it, it's meat. We get mentally ill when that meat is defective. That's...
I don't think I disagree with it, but the way she puts it sounds disrespectful. Type 3. Something is clearly wrong. Yep.
I also get mentally ill from too many mosquito bites.
Because it changes your chemical balances.
I know, right? I think I got overdosed.
Possibly.
The doctor studying Hinamizawa syndrome has also come up with a theory. He suggested that there's a pathogen endemic to Hinamizawa that if the host strays too far from home, affects the chemicals in their brain and causes them to hallucinate.
The parasite.
So far, this is in line with Takano's notebook.
I'm telling you, every single one of Takano's notebooks turns out to be true.
Probably,
to some
yeah.
degree. There is some fantasy in it, but they're all at their core true.
Every world has had that experience. With this as the main thing.
Either every one story is true in some world, or all of them are true in every one of them.
The villagers' belief in oyashiro-sama is certain. The villagers' belief in oyashiro-sama is certainly related to this endemic disease. People in Onikafuji village knew about this syndrome. I was just thinking, it's amazing I didn't trip yet. They knew that they couldn't survive outside the village. They also didn't want anyone else to enter the village, because they would get infected too. They took this disease as a curse, not a sickness. The most significant symptoms of this disease are antisocial behavior and an extreme persecution complex.
I didn't correct you on the previous 3 oopsie daisies you made verbally, so we're good.
I was talking about looking at you for the symptoms.
Okay, alright. I guess I also have oyashiro-sama sickness, because I do often portray not often, but every now and then I do portray layers of antisocial behavior, and I do have an extreme persecution complex, but it's very targeted. Usually it only affects the people who sit next to me, on my left side specifically, 4 times a week in the evening.
The eventual suicide caused by defects in the lymph nodes are also another unique characteristic. Why did I say I didn't trip over anything? It went so well.
You jinxed it.
I really did.
So it's a what?
Characteristic.
Who needs whole lines?
The unusual behavior of terminal patients is what inspired the legend of demons coming out of the swamp and attacking the villagers. Basically, sick villagers developed severe persecution complexes and wound up killing other villagers. After a long time, survivors of the disease started to comprehend its rules. They discovered that the disease is incurable once you contract it. That's why they started barring outsiders from entering the village. Also, once you became ill, you will begin developing a persecution complex. This can happen to anyone in the village. The doctrine of oyashiro-sama says that the blood of humans and demons was mixed together. and that Oyashiro-sama has control over the violent blood of the demons.
This is all swell, but what the fuck's up with Hanyu?
She doesn't come into play yet. People said that you'd be cursed if you didn't follow Oyashiro-sama's rules. That could also be understood to mean that as long as you followed Oyashiro-sama's rules, you could cope with this endemic disease. That is what is meant by the scripture in Oyashiro-sama's legends, that said they appeared, unified the humans and demons, and made them live together in this village. Then there was the most important part, the rules to prevent symptoms from appearing. Those rules are the taboos, and when people were strictly taught that Oyashiro-sama would curse them if they broke those rules.
And when people were what?
Oh, and people were strictly taught that Oyashiro-sama would curse them if they broke the rules. The horrible bloody traditions of the village were probably performed in order to force people to respect those taboos. There are several ways to keep the disease under control, but there are two main conditions for doing so. The first one is to prevent suspicion. Most important, of course.
Here we go! Here we go! I was right with this!
When the villagers are suspicious of someone, it can trigger their persecution complex, which can lead to them developing terminal symptoms.
That's what I said!
I don't think so. When did you say that?
Bad shit keeps happening every time Keiichi offended somebody. In chapter 1 he started doubting his friends. Meaning people became suspicious of him. He was suspicious of his friends, and I would also dare say Reina got suspicious of him. Same with Mion, because they both kind of were questioning him. And we've had that in every chapter.
That's true. That's why they made sure to have such a tightly knit community, so that people wouldn't suspect each other. Since the terror of Oyashiro-sama's curse is emphasized, many don't know this, but she's also a god of marriage and neighborly love.
She, huh?
However, this condition is not as important as the other one. Indeed, Oyashiro-sama isn't even recognized as a god of friendship in Hinamizawa anymore, and is only worshipped as such in Okonomiya's Hirasaka district.
Shoutouts to all my homies in Okinomiya for knowing better.
Now for the other condition. This one is much clearer and was practiced more strictly.
Burn your futons.
If villagers leave Hinamizawa, they will fall ill quickly, proportional to the distance from the village.
So it's like gravity.
Villagers nowadays will not get sick as rapidly, even if they leave town or even go out of the country for a long time.
But doesn't that mean Akasaka needs to come back?
Akasaka is not originally from the village.
But he's been here, he might be infected.
If he is infected, he will at some point get sick, yeah. Specifically says it can take a long time to get sick.
Is that why Ooishi in one of and then 20 years later stories would get sick? Or was that just because he's probably like in his 70s, 80s by then, and that's just a thing that happens? I mean, both things could be true. Chapter 1, Keiichi is one losing it. True. Chapter 2 was... it's been too long.
However, long ago, they would fall ill as soon as they have left the village.
Waiting for Tifa to return into the camera frame.
I'm in camera frame. Press A.
This stream brought to you by mosquitoes.
It's very unfortunate that Keiichi got infected so soon after he moved to the village. It was also very unfortunate that he got sick just because he left the village for a few days to go to his relative's funeral in that one world. That's why Hanyu felt so bad for him at that time and kept on apologizing over and over. Wait, go back to the log? Keiichi got infected after he moved to the village. He got sick because he left the village to go to a funeral.
We've never seen that.
I was gonna say, I don't remember him leaving for a funeral.
That's chapter 1.
That's 1.
Oh my god!
Intro of episode 1. Oh, wait, he had a funeral there?
The intro, the two first things that happen with chapter 1 is, the very first thing is we witness a murder and we still don't know what that is about. But
I think
after
that was just a recent...
After that, if you let me finish my sentence, we watch Keiichi travel to Hinamizawa. And we always took that as, oh, that's just him moving there. But if you think about it, that doesn't make sense. You don't normally move to a new place somewhere else by going with your family by train. Where do you put all the luggage? Where do you put all the furniture? I thought they just had the parents had set up everything already and now they're just going there. But they'll probably still go by car or something. Keiichi had been to Hinamizawa, then his relative died, they went back to Tokyo, then he came back, and then we witness chapter 1 and him so quickly falling into insanity is the effects of Hinamizawa syndrome.
Okay.
That's why the story develops the way it does so quickly. After he finds the newspaper, he goes, oh my god, my friends are lying to me. And then it's like, you know, it just keeps on going.
Yeah, it keeps being triggered. Okay. Although,
Smart.
no matter how much she apologized, he never heard her voice. This turned into a long discussion, but... Also, what do you mean we're not saying all of this out loud? We're just talking to ourselves right now.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
She's explaining all of this.
Hanyu is not...
If you read your line, maybe we can understand
stingy,
it
and
deeper.
she's not saying this in a way that it is said to them.
If only
This
she read
turned
your
into
line.
a long discussion, but these rules etched around Oyashiro-sama's curse represent the ancient wisdom of how to cope with the Hinamizawa syndrome. Is there any way to use this mental disease for military purposes? The aforementioned doctor insisted there was, but the military didn't listen to him at all at the time.
There is. There is. If you could weaponize this. I mean, nowadays in 2025, in the age of drone strikes, not really because you can control a drone remotely. But back in the 80s, when virtually all warfare still required people to go somewhere, if everybody effectually dies from homesickness and starts attacking their friends, if you infect the entire world, nobody can travel really, and you definitely can't start a war. Because the moment you deploy your troops, they're gonna start killing each other.
Yeah, but you would need to get everyone into Hinamizawa. Plus,
No.
it can take a long time before you get sick. Or
No.
I'm missing what you're saying.
You need to... If you infect them with the thing, they're gonna go nuts. Now the question is, do they just...
guarantee.
Do they act... How does Hinamizawa play into this? Because the weaponized version, will that just mean everybody outside of Hinamizawa will die from it eventually because they are away from Hinamizawa? Or will it be some sort of like a localized version? Like if a person from New York, for example, gets infected and they leave New York, that's when it gets triggered. So they have to stay in New York and surrounding area.
Well, if you want to believe the notes from Takano, and we can assume there's some truth in that now, it's that it's specific to Hinamizawa and they need to survive there. It being triggered when you leave the city is the parasite trying to get back to town.
No, you're still on the parasite.
Yeah, but that seems like that is a logical thing, even if it's not a parasite.
No, listen.
It's like a fungus wanting to
Wait.
grow in a specific area.
Wait. There are rules to prevent the symptoms. One is to avoid suspicion, and the other one is you can't leave Hinamizawa. So the question then, staying in New York is its own curse. Not wrong necessarily.
But if it only thrives in Hinamizawa, it does not matter if they get infected in New York. They wouldn't be able to. So the answer to your question, I would say, is
that's
no.
wrong. You are wrong 100%. You can get infected anywhere, but it will more likely break out in you if A, you become suspicious of somebody, and or B, you're not near Hinamizawa.
I don't think you can just get infected everywhere. Then it would be a worldwide thing already.
Exactly. So my question is, if you were to infect the entire world, does that mean everybody gets tied to where they live? Or does that mean they will all go nuts because they cannot all be in Hinamizawa?
Probably that.
Thank you.
Unless you have localized that somehow.
Localized what?
The virus. It thrives in Hinamizawa, which is why it's only Hinamizawa. Otherwise it would be everywhere. Why else is it contained to just Hinamizawa?
Tifa, if you weaponized it.
Yes. But then if you take it and you bring it somewhere, then why would it suddenly be, oh, now I'm stuck to New York, is what I'm saying. So you would probably go insane because it's still from the environment of Hinamizawa. So either you need to localize it and change the virus, which is possible if you weaponize it.
That's exactly
that
the question I was asking.
Yes, and that's what I've been answering, but you refuse to listen.
I feel like we're both trying to have the same conversation, but it isn't working.
I know I'm tired, but...
So you're saying if people outside of Hinamizawa would get infected by it, because it became weaponized, they would just, in a matter of days or whatever, if it breaks out, they would just end up becoming murder machines and everybody would die.
If they can change the virus in that way, yes.
What do you mean change the virus?
It currently can take forever before you go nuts, as was just explained. You can leave the village for years and nothing happens.
Do you remember the part where I said if weaponized?
That's why I said. If they change the virus...
So your answer is yes?
Yes!
Thank you. Man, that was a hard birth, people. We're all on the same page, just having a different constellation. Constellations of
because he's not listening. As usual. Maybe you'll find out if you press A. I know, right?
Could you get us back into it, Tifa?
No, go. I hate that word.
Aforementioned?
Yes.
Aforementioned.
Doesn't matter. A.
Please, Tifa. I'm begging you. Tifa clearly has Hinamizawa syndrome too?
They were interested in developing a weapon that could make a dramatic change to the war efforts. They didn't have any money to spare for the research of this strange disease. In this way, research on Hinamizawa syndrome was abandoned. Then the war ended. Japan started its reconstruction under American leadership. However, some powerful people in the political world didn't want to accept the American way of thinking. Some of them were fired by the GHQ, but they still stayed on as advisors to the government, since Japan has a culture of respecting the elderly.
It's respecting the elderly, kind of like how even after the Nuremberg trials, a lot of high-ranking important positions were still given to now former Nazis, because they were the only ones capable, as in skilled, in these fields. Yeah. The General HQ just means the Americans occupying Japan. Alright, thank you. I did not know that.
Eventually, a political organization was formed, the object of which was to restore Japan to the way it was before the war.
So, ultimately, the reason is still racism.
In the beginning, this organization was a very small group. It was just a gathering of 2 or 3 individuals who shared the same ideals, blowing hot air at a restaurant. Those 2 or 3 hit it off with each other and grew to the size of a class reunion. That group became a rather sizable organization, eventually becoming a political one. Well, it would be more accurate to call them a secret society.
Conservatism plagues us time and again. I don't know if I want to call that conservatism, because maybe I'm using the word wrong, but I think I can understand the idea of wanting to maintain something the way it is. you know, to honor the traditions and all of these things. That goes beyond, oh, I want to keep it as it is. This is, I actively hate things. And it's not just, oh, hey, young one, do you know back then when I was a kid, we used to do things this way and I like it because traditions. Versus, you want to change things, I will kill you.
I think that's where you use the conservatism.
Yeah, I think the ism is the part that's the problem.
When you do everything to hold on to it instead of reminiscing about, oh, back when I did this, I really like this, so I want to stick to this.
People who love hoop and stick and hate new civil rights. Yeah. It's a weird world we live in.
This secret society eventually came to be called by the name of the place where it was based, Tokyo. Oh, so when she's been talking about Tokyo, it wasn't the place Tokyo, it was society Tokyo.
Really?
There are many mysteries about Tokyo. Couldn't they have given it another name? One thing I knew for sure is that it was composed of old men from Japan's political stage. Ones with strong power to indirectly influence the government and vast assets that meant they could work from the shadows. They were also connected to various corporations, and their goal was to return Japan to the way it was before the war. Of course, that was a pretty ridiculous goal. It was nothing more than an idea in their minds immediately after the war, back when they were still bowing their heads to the occupation forces of those white barbarians.
I can't believe Higurashi predicted Trump's second term.
Once Japan's post-war reconstruction began, Tokyo steadily became a shell of its former self. But it didn't totally become a shell. It called the fat. Japan regained its peace, and years passed. However, some people still continued to believe that Japan had been better before the war, and that they were determined to return the country to those times.
I repeat my previous statement.
So this Tokyo plotted how to restore pre-war Japan from many angles. They approached the problem economically, internationally, and militarily as well.
Peace for my dead body!
Peace doesn't bring money.
I have a radical take. I believe the same way there is an age limit so that you cannot be under a certain age to hold certain offices, there should be also an age limit that you cannot be
a max
above a certain age to hold a certain office. I believe there's shitheads of every age, don't get me wrong. But I want to argue that if you made it so that government could only be run by people who were, let's say, between 40 and 50, things might be different.
No, I think it would be good in politics to maybe have several generations represented. Instead of just
all
having
of them would be nice.
Well, you don't want them too young either. Like, I don't want a 16-year-old in my government.
Okay, then let's make it. You can only work in government at the executive highest level if you are between 26 and 45.
Yeah, for example.
We can argue about these numbers, but that age range. You know, the one where the decisions you implement or you set along will still affect you in your life. Hot take. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I think a mix would also maybe be good. Let's say until the age of a pension. Which at some point is going to be 80 probably. But have just like they have a woman quote nowadays. Have an age quote. Like you must, in your party, you must have so many people between these ages, so many between that, so that you cover the generations.
It's not just you have to have them, you have to have them in those positions.
Yes, I agree. I also feel like if it is not a political party, but a position like a president, then there should be an age thing.
Yeah.
Like everything over. That sounds bad. But I think if you are like 60 plus...
You can't hold that...
65 plus.
No, 60. You can't hold that position.
Yeah.
You can still be an advisor, but you can't be that thing. I wouldn't be opposed. The people who would have to sign off that are the old themselves, so fair chance. Maybe one day, when we're all out to play hoops and sticks, then the young people can come together and change the world.
I love peace. I'll do anything to have it, no matter how many men, women or children I have to kill to get it.
Some peacemaker. Yeah, no, I love that. I do. According to Alien Earth, voting failed, so we are safe by the 5 big trillionaire companies. So it's gonna be Facebook, Amazon, Netflix and Google. Oh, I need a 5th one. Nvidia, I don't know. Apple. Did I already say Apple? FAANG, F-A-A-N-G. Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. I don't want to live in that world.
Imagine Netflix.
So we see you have been in your new position for 36 seconds and you are not at the same time already the most watched new staff member. You have been cancelled. Sorry. No, I know we already ordered 5 more seasons, but you are cancelled.
Well, it does require that younger people become involved enough to be responsible in these positions. I feel like there are enough that want to, but also often don't get the case. I remember a political party in Germany, and I'm not sure if that was state exclusive or countrywide, but they did win an election, which was pretty young.
Yeah, I know.
But they ended up not being able to do anything because the people in the more experienced positions who were not in there refused to work along and also help them.
No, not exactly. You can look this up. The case Tifa is talking about is the Piratenpartei.
That's
the Pirate Party. Like 20 years ago or so, I think it was, the Pirate Party popped up seemingly out of nowhere and ran on progressive ideals. Things that you could argue about, but most of them were very common sense. Like, we should have a pension system that works. We should have a healthcare system that works, that is being funded properly. Schools, all of these things should be funded properly. Stuff like this.
That makes sense.
They ran their campaign and they ended up in, I don't know if on a countrywide level or just in some states, but they did eventually get enough votes to be put into power so that they would have a say in these matters. And then the problem was that they were a lot of their people were very driven to argue these cases, but they didn't have enough members that actually had government experience. So while they had ideas that a lot of people were in line with, that's why they voted for them, they couldn't really enact or work on anything because they didn't know how to. There's a bunch of issues. How can we have a system where you have to already know what to do in order to be able to do the thing? Why don't we have like an onboarding thing? Imagine if tomorrow our whole government died and then new people had to take over. What do you mean they can't take over because nobody explained to them how it works? Why can't they read up on it? There's a bunch of things. It's a super complex thing. But you can't just be the idea guy, basically. But no, you cannot.
None of that sounds profitable. Yeah, that is also true.
Yeah, eventually I think they still exist, but they kind of just fizzled out when there was a bunch of scandals. I think there was a murder case between 2 of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really weird stuff. And I think they still exist, but they don't get enough votes to do anything. They just exist. They're just there.
Yeah. Another issue is that you also need to... Especially that if you are a younger party, you also need to get people to actually believe that you can do it. Because you will have they're too young, they don't have life experience and all of that.
Yeah, I think we have well over 100 different parties if you look at all of Germany, and most of them don't get any votes, like 12. Nothing at all enough to make them actually be able to make any changes.
Yeah.
But everybody can start a party. I like that. It's just at the same time, if you have on some levels of government at least, like 100 different parties to choose from, you start cannibalizing each other.
Well, it's still a money thing. I mean, we can start a party, but without funding, without bigger companies and organizations backing you up, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, plus
it's still...
Then there is the whole lobbyism issue. So even if we were to be in charge of anything, good luck getting anything done because big money goes... Yeah, just vote against it.
I bet Tifa enjoys the cannibalism part. I've had discussions like this with Jack before. If I was able to get into a position of power, I would be a dictator. I don't think, or I think it is necessary
Duh.
to wipe the state clean.
The state? Oh. The slate.
Just wipe the slate.
Tifa, the letters
I am
really...
tired. I am running on 2 hours of sleep. You have to cut me some slack. It does.
There's a difference between you saying, I'm a terrorist organization, and you saying, I would like to change things for the better.
And if you look at numbers, you probably have entire states that get wiped out. I say... dictatorship, I think, is necessary in order to save the world, but you will never have a dictator that can, at some point, stop and overpower and not misuse it. I think that's the problem of dictatorship as well. Which is why it is a bad thing.
Look at Orange Man currently. I can do what I want. I'm a president. No, you cannot do what you want. Except you get away with it because there are no more checks and balances, apparently. You know, rules are great, but they need to be enforced. I decided that I become the next God King Emperor. Try your best, Psycho.
I also really hate politics, so I would not be good at it at all. I already get so sick of work politics. Work politics really gets to me. I won't even be able to handle state politics.
The Romans also found out putting one guy in charge also makes him vulnerable to being stabbed by anyone else who wants to be in charge. Yeah.
Yeah, plus that.
Et tu, Brutus? I just want to say I would love it if politicians would be barred from taking money from anybody else while they're at all in their lives. They shouldn't be allowed to trade stocks. They shouldn't be allowed to make any choices or vote on anything that they have personal skin in the game of.
And it's funny how many politicians made profits in the past year.
No, always, Tifa. In the past, always. It's not a now problem.
Fair enough. More extreme profits than...
Yeah. And there
more
should be
extreme
accountability.
Open profits.
There needs to be accountability. I believe if you piss away 3 billion euros, dollars, monies, tax monies, you should go to jail for the rest of your life. Because fuck you, that's why.
It's politics.
Capitalism has been around since the Industrial Revolution and it needs to be changed. You know what also needs to be changed? This. So read your line, Tifa.
They approach the problem economically, internationally and militarily as well. Japan has no nuclear armament. Japan has no nuclear armaments due to the 3 non-nuclear principles. In other words, this country has to brown-nose America as long as they hold nuclear weapons. The #1 priority of Tokyo is to be independent from America. They want this country to be on equal footing, and to obtain a weapon of mass destruction that isn't nuclear in nature.
You had me up until they want this country to be on equal footing to America. Up until that point, I'd be like, yeah, no, I understand this. So we need a weapon of mass destruction.
But that's kind of how countries work.
Yeah, that's the Cold War. It's deterrence.
They have a nuclear weapon.
So we need one as well.
We need a weapon just in case they start threatening our ass.
So that we can threaten them back, and then both sides realize if both presses the red button, all of the world is fucked, so nobody presses the button.
That's what I sometimes kind of found odd when countries make a deal with one another. That one is not allowed to have nuclear weapons, but I am allowed to have the nuclear weapon, but you cannot have the nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't you then both not agree to not have the nuclear weapon?
Tifa, you wouldn't believe it, but that's the START contracts between America and Russia. what you just described. And then of course there is adjacent things like Russia telling Ukraine, if you give up all of your nuclear armament, we will forever and ever and ever protect you. Didn't work out that way. It's kind of funny if you think about it, especially with the internet, like you get news almost instantaneous. That there was a time when countries went, if you do this, I will protect you for the next 1 billion years. That's not gonna happen. It should. I would love that. But... Tifa, I say this as nice as I can. You would not survive a single episode of Game of Thrones. I disagree, Psycho.
I also disagree because I would not be in the middle of that shit. I would be in a little hut in the forest, minding my own fucking business.
There's two ways I see this. Either Tifa ends up on the throne. But you had a better sorry than Tifa the Kobold. Exactly. Tifa would either somehow luck her way through things like she did through Dark Souls 3, and she would end up on the frickin' throne. And I don't know if that would be good or bad for anybody, given her previous statements. Or she would be brought up like a Tom Bombadil side character for like, oh, that's interesting, I wonder where the story goes. And it just keeps rolling, you know, like after, there's like a post-credit scene. After every episode, there's like 2 minutes of the life of Tifa. And we see her in her little hut, then barbarians are dropping by, but she somehow gets through this unscathed because they just run past her, because they don't see the building or something like this. But at some point, when it looks like Tifa is going to be the next big thing in the story, Tifa decides to go skinny dipping in a lake in Norway and then dies from dysentery, shitting her soul out. Because there was no Jack stopping her from getting into the water. Those are the two options you'll get with a Tifa type character.
That all seems like possible scenarios.
It's complete randomness, just one turns out to be good for her character and the other she dies horribly through stupid decisions. Yeah. The Soviets used to be really strong about banning all nukes forever while they were making their own. Yeah, so did everybody else.
Yep.
Let's get through this book.
That was the reason why they started thinking about utilizing Hinamizawa syndrome. However, they couldn't study this disease openly. In order to utilize it for military purposes, they had to hide the existence of the disease itself. So they enlisted one young researcher, Kyosuke Irie. I need to make it clear that Irie isn't some far-right supporter of this secret society.
He's not a Nazi, he just happens to work with them.
It's just professional curiosity.
Exactly. It's about the research, people.
He's just a young, capable doctor and an earnest researcher. He published an innovative thesis, but other academics thought he was too radical. However, that convinced Tokyo that he was the only researcher suitable to study Hinamizawa syndrome.
For science, yeah.
Exactly.
I always thought he was weird for his touchiness with very young people. This is just icing on the cake.
As someone young and ambitious, Irie was thrilled to take on the project of studying this rare disease with a large budget, a large staff, and his own facility.
You moron, what do you think you get all of this?
But researching the disease would mean he'd end up being infected too. No one would want to take on such dangerous research. He really was too young. With this other option being wearing down his youth working hard at the night shift for a local practice, he wanted to answer the expectations of the sponsor who carefully selected him. Somehow this line seems weird.
It was a big people line. Yeah.
In the end, Irie was able to uncover that as hypothesis, the Hinamizawa syndrome was a unique infectious disease, and he developed both a treatment and a vaccine. Irie was extremely talented. The Irie Institute was formed to study the disease.
That's where they got the money from.
Irie was nominally the head of the organization, but Tokyo still sent out a supervisor, because when all was said and done, he was just a researcher. That supervisor was Mio Takano. Takano's job at the institute was to act as a go-between for Tokyo and Irie, manage the research progress, and preserve its secrecy. The latter was the most important part of her job. She had to do her best to prevent people from finding out that Irie was researching the disease, or even that the disease exists at all.
I'll never trust a nurse again.
Question is, how does Rika fit in here? Why was she told about this disease? Because she helps them out with the research. Why did they decide?
I have a really dumb reason why she knows this. So, based on real current things, my experience with these, I'll just call them Nazis because that's what they're, with those Nazis trying to roll back years, decades of progress on society and go back to the old times.
Yeah.
They all have something in common. A lot of them are really freaking stupid. So I wouldn't be shocked if in their infinite wisdom of bringing back the glory days, they told the Furude family, because the Furude family is super important in all of this. They are the shrine keepers of Oyashiro-sama, and Oyashiro-sama is tradition, and tradition good.
So you think her parents were in on it, got murdered after maybe asking the wrong questions, and the daughter continued?
I don't know how, but I think they knew.
Okay. Well, we might still find out.
Not willingly or unwillingly, I think they knew.
The mountain dogs were formed for that purpose. They were under Takano's command, and their job is to prevent the Institute's secrets from being discovered. The mountain dogs are a special forces unit specializing in unconventional warfare and owned by Tokyo with its vast influence on the SDF. Tokyo had set their eyes on the likelihood that a small elite squad of covered operatives would be a trump card in the anti-nuke era. So they vigorously investigated those options.
It's okay, Rika is a little girl.
This was a worldwide trend since the Cold War. Everyone avoided sending troops directly to their enemy's doorstep. Japan was also trying to be a part of that world. And as a result, by 1983, even the police have been forming secret special forces units. Prefectural Police Squad 2, the ones who intervened when Rina laid siege to her school, changed their name to Zero Company and grew into an anti-terrorism squad that handled hijackings around the Kansai airport area.
Except it was Reina.
The National Police Agency Squad 6 was formed as a counter-terrorism squad for Narita Airport 2, and they later changed their name to 7th Company as well. They theorized that in a world where nations possess nukes, they can't use small elite special forces disrupting metropolitan areas would be the new way of waging war. So in 1977 they developed the SAT's predecessor, the Special Task Force, SAP, to serve as the National Police Agency's trump card in securing the peace.
Motherfucker, say trump card one more time.
I would stand here listening and like, can you start over?
This is 100% a Metal Gear Solid cutscene. I'm all in, but I understand how this is not for everybody. Just randomly a character goes, "Snake, do you read me? Loud and clear, Colonel. Likewise, the Japanese Coastal Guard established a special task force, the SST." And just spout exposition at you.
This is where I am... Skip.
I love this. I've played enough Kojima games. I'm in.
Don't care about that much background. Skip.
Like using the term trump card in Japan, they do for some reason.
Likewise, the Japanese Coast Guard established their special task force, the SST, in anticipation of unconventional warfare on the coast. There are several known special forces units in Japan.
Then how are they secret?
When they hear a phrase like special forces, most people tend to think of a movie or a comic book.
When I hear special force, I think of Tifa.
Wow.
Because you are a force to be reckoned with, Tifa, and you are special to me.
Thank you, appreciate it. However, these units actually exist and are protecting Japan in secret.
Japan or Tokyo? Saved.
During the famous incident of suspicious boats off the coast of Noto Peninsula, the news...
no, sorry. Peninsula.
Oh, Peninsula.
Peninsula sounds
Seemed like a city.
Like this peninsula suddenly became part of a Mexican telenovela. Oh, it's my peninsula.
During the famous incident of suspicious boats off the coast of Noto Peninsula. Oh my fucking god. During the famous incident of suspicious boats off the coast of Noto Peninsula, the news reported that the helicopter squad trained in gun battles was headed there, but was recalled because the suspicious boat sank. But that was because the Coast Guard's SST acted.
New South American country drop.
Gotta get your allies somewhere.
Suddenly you look at Google Maps, poof, Peninsula.
However, the news never mentioned the SST or any other Special Forces unit. All of these units were established after Tokyo made a suggestion about it to the government. Researching military tactics under the name of peace and order worked perfectly for Tokyo. But since the mid-century anti-war movement made people resent those forces, the special units have been kept a secret as of 1983. Furthermore, these units are not all formed under the jurisdiction of the police. There are still many other military units that are kept secret from the average citizen. The mountain dogs are actually one of those special units. They specialize in kidnapping, espionage, and preserving secrecy. You might as well call them an assassination unit.
Noto Peninsula is near Wajima, where Akasaka was going on his hot springs trip.
Ah, it's all connected.
Now it's in South America, and it's Noto Peninsula. Get your facts fixed, Dark Lord.
They were around during the dam conflict as well. Tokyo worked to put an end to the dam project because of the impact it would have on Irie's research.
That's why the guy needed to die. Oh, of course.
So the one who ran off with the hand is probably Okanogi.
I wouldn't be shocked if he kept it as a trophy. Yeah?
Mm.
Actually, no, I think that would be Takano. I think Takano would be the one that in her office she has like a mummified arm.
The mountain dogs were the ones who kidnapped the Minister of Construction's grandson. Most people believed that the Sonosaki family was at the center of the movement, but in reality, the mountain dogs were responsible for many of the things the Sonosakis were accused of. In that sense, the existence of the Sonosaki family was an advantage to the dogs.
Those bitches, get it?
Their main job after the dam conflict ended has been to continue keeping the disease hidden from the public. With the spread of information networks in the modern age, the media jumped onto anything unusual or any unusual incident and quickly aired it to the whole nation. Tokyo doesn't want the disease to be known nationwide, since they're trying to utilize it for their own purposes.
The internet!
The main task of the dogs is to kidnap people suffering from Hinamizawa syndrome. See? So they are the ones.
So they are the one that disappear people.
They pose as gardeners, but in actuality they patrol the village to make sure nothing strange happens. They're the ones who demon away people who go missing. They're probably also involved in some of the mysterious deaths too. The last important person is Jiro Tomitake. I don't know his real name.
Okanogi gardening, yep.
You actually did say that last time.
No, Dark Lord did, and then I repeated it, but thank you for thinking it was me realizing that.
No, last time you even said they were the gardeners.
Yeah, but I came to that conclusion because Dark Lord had said that in chat.
Oh.
Yeah, credit where credit is due. There's video evidence. You said it before I did. So.
Here I thought you were smart.
No. I don't lie about that.
He was an auditor who was sent from Tokyo 4 times a year.
That is not a flattering jacket on him.
No, that is
It
way
makes
too
him
big.
look very square.
He came to check on the progress of the research and outlined requests from Tokyo. He discussed the research budget with Irie too.
Ich bin klug. That you are.
That we know.
Yes?
I was trying to check his card again, but... He also got the observation report on Irie from Takano.
In the remake art, he looks older. Or is that just me?
That makes sense.
In the original, he looks way
even older.
Maybe it's the sepia filter thing happening, but I want to say late 20s, like mid to late 20s. I think 26 for some reason. Remake,
Beginning 30s?
30s? Original, I don't know,
50s?
62?
That was his purpose. Irie started out by studying the autopsy results of dead villagers, and he discovered many answers from that. In 1979, the dogs kidnapped the culprit behind the murder of the construction chief, who was also a terminal patient of Hinamizawa syndrome. The nature of the disease was dramatically clarified.
That's why they said it's a drug addict.
Ah. Their research made rapid progress after that, and they discovered a vaccine, medication, and other methods of treatment for the disease. At the same time, they continued to investigate how to utilize it for military purposes. One of the interesting findings of the research was that the pathogen can only be found when the patient is still alive.
How convenient.
On top of that, they couldn't detect the presence of the pathogen at all unless they used a certain inhumane method.
Which was to
Torturing.
disembowel them.
In other words, it's virtually impossible to detect the pathogen by normal means. It left almost no trace, and the unusual symptoms it produced seemed like voluntary behavior, so they concluded that the disease could be used to their advantage. However, Tokyo has been going through some changes. I hear the intro of... What was that weird sex cartoon show?
Big
They're
Mouth.
Going through changes. Oh, Big Mouth, yeah.
Big Mouth, yeah. Before we continue about how this changed, how about we take a short break? There's
Sure.
been a bunch of lore dumped and I need to digest that. I'm very happy that we seem to finally get answers, and I say it that
Too many
way
answers.
because is this the truth for all the chapters or just this one? I assume it's for all of them, right? So let's settle for a moment with this, take a short break, stretch our legs, get something to drink, some snacks maybe. I mean, we won't because crunchy sounds, but you can. And then we can continue.
I shall use this break to forget everything.
BRB.
BRB. We're back.
In Tokyo, with Tokyo, about Tokyo, I'm not sure. You ready to lore dump some more, Tifa?
It's been almost 50 years since the war ended. The leaders in shadows behind Japan's government who ruled from the center of Tokyo began growing infirm and opening up seats, steadily passing their leadership to the new generation. We just spoke of this.
The only thing worse than an old Nazi is a young Nazi.
The whole organization has started to shift. Of course, the purpose of Tokyo stayed the same. It's still a secret society of ultra-nationalists who want Japan to be at the top of the world. However, their ambition to start a war with America and take over the world has diminished.
Diminished Cap. The Zelda game that we were supposed to get, but never did. Also,
That's the prologue.
thank you.
Tokyo has directed its priorities towards the economy, international affairs, and education.
So they're trying to make everybody better off, try to have... Oh wait, Tokyo, that's good. Can we just do Tokyo and Tokyo? Because now I'm confused.
There is no Tokyo as in the city in this case.
Yeah, but...
It's always Tokyo organization.
Okay, and so the other one is the government then?
Yes.
Tokyo is the capital of Japan, right? I think it is.
That doesn't mean that those ambitions are gone entirely, however. Several seniors still alive retain those ambitions.
I repeat my earlier statement. All people!
Tokyo continues to finance military research. But for the present day Tokyo, Irie's research is actually something of an embarrassment.
He's got the perfect murder weapon. What?
The new Tokyo is no longer interested in this project, and they announced that they're going to cut their budget as soon as those seniors pass away. However, Irie objected to that plan. he strongly appealed for the continuation of his research. The question is, why is it suddenly an embarrassment?
I don't know.
This is what Okanogi was talking about. Irie is in disagreement with Tokyo.
So it's a synecdoche? What? Is that a real word? I mean, I have no reason to not believe you, but what? I've never seen that word before.
We need the explanation.
Yes, please. I was gonna go, hey Siri, what does that mean? But hey Dark Lord, what is that word?
His research has been making great progress. They've discovered various treatment and testing methods, and he's even started to develop a treatment plan for the whole village. If they cut his funding, his research would end up without any results.
Alright.
No,
Synecdoche.
Not the pronunciation, the meaning.
Okay, but what is it? Other than a difficult to pronounce word.
Tokyo had a discussion with Irie through Tomitake, and they decided to shut down his research partially, but not fully. However, they told him to immediately stop researching military applications of the disease and destroy all the research data related to that.
But that's a good thing.
He had little interest in weaponizing the disease anyway, so Irie accepted those terms right away. Tokyo probably believed that it was better to let him find a cure for the disease than to terminate it entirely.
Yes, so that they could also build that new highway to and through Hinamizawa, bringing more people here. It would suck if they just drive through, catch the disease and go on a murder rampage.
Yeah, but why do you want to bring more people there? There's nothing anyway.
Tourism?
Why do you want to create tourism there? Just let the village die out.
Why did we just travel like 20 hours up north for tourism so that we could see this place?
Yeah, all places we could see on a map.
Why? They can just cure the disease, and once the disease is gone, it's fine to travel through there.
Just get rid of the village.
Synecdoche means something that refers to a larger organization by a smaller, easier name.
No, I think
Hell
large
no.
organization is the easier name.
Nah, thank you for educating us, but whoever came up with that was bullshitting. You cannot make up a word like this and then go, yeah, it actually means to find an easier name, when that is the word for it. When they say the White House, to mean the President, his staff, or the Pentagon, when they mean the Department of Defense. I get it, but that word is ass.
I agree.
Did you know that synecdoche spelled backwards as a race car?
At this point, Irie considers himself one of the villagers. Perhaps exterminating the disease infecting the villagers without their knowledge is his way of atoning for using the village to advance his research and reputation.
It seems like the least he can do after helping the evil Nazi people trying to take over the world.
Both Tokyo and Irie agreed to fully terminate his research as soon as he discovered a way to completely eradicate Hinamizawa syndrome.
Okay.
Irie made a plan for the next 3 years, and he promised them that he would find a resolution by 86 at the latest. The meeting they had this June was to discuss the plan and budget for the next 3 years. Which brings us back to the beginning. One theory goes that Irie is in opposition with Tokyo, and as his trump card, he's planning to kill Rika Furude. The other theory is that Takano killed Tomitake, and as her trump card, she's going to kill Rika Furude. But why is this a trump card?
Because Rika somehow is the key to the cure.
I suppose I need to explain why Rika can be a trump card.
Oh my god, we're still in the lore dump.
This is the only thing I want to know. How does she fit in here?
I'm super happy we finally got answers. I wouldn't have minded if it happened more organically throughout the story versus go through 7 chapters worth of novel until we get to the end of chapter 7 and then we tell you everything. When will we get answers?
Yeah, I don't want this many answers at once. It's just a matter of pressing A.
Yeah,
this
always.
is the bit I care about. The rest I've already forgotten.
Here we go.
The answer to that lies in the ancient traditions of Hinamizawa. Supposedly, members of the Furude family have the blood of oyashiro-sama in their veins. I explained earlier that oyashiro-sama was made up as a method for having people cope with the disease. You can never be happy, can you? No. There is no in between.
Listen, I believe that so far Higurashi is one of the best written pieces of media I've ever seen. 100%. But does this exposition reek of Hideo Kojima level writing? Where stuff happens, BAM! All the information at once near the end. Yes. Go pick up your octopus plushie, Tifa.
It's fine, I now have this.
Which you're gonna drop in a moment.
However, that's not actually true. For the demons, the pathogens to survive, a certain being must be present.
Hanyu.
Wait, so Hanyu is the... That being is the successor of the Furude family line. The truth behind the advent of Oyashiro-sama and the coexistence of humans and demons is that Oyashiro-sama was actually the queen of the village. According to Irie's research, Rika is adored by the whole village, not only because she's a charming little girl, but because she's the queen carrier. Infected patients are unconsciously driven to protect their queen.
So this is like bees.
It is a parasite. A hive mind parasite. Irie says that this is done with pheromones. Okay, but that does explain where she fits in. Rika Furude's mother was also adored by everyone since she was little. However, as soon as she gave birth, people's attention quickly shifted to Rika. Irie calls it the succession of the throne. The queen is a precious existence to people in this village. There are theories that carriers of the disease are actually unable to survive when away from the queen. Not from the village itself. Oh, so if Rika moves to New York...
We can all go on trips together as long as she's there.
And people stay in the village, they will still go nuts because Rika is gone. But if they all move along to New York, then all is good.
So Rika dying would cause everything to go to shit anyway. That's why she's a time bomb. As long as she's alive without having a daughter, she could cause the entire village to go extinct. But in a very bloody way.
Now it makes a little bit more sense, because Tokyo wanting to end the full research, or for them to want to end the full research, it makes sense to kill Rika, because that will basically exterminate the entire village and get rid of all evidence.
Yeah, and then they just pour concrete over it for 30 years and they go, yeah, now you can go back. Because after that everything is decomposed to a point where the carrier is gone. And the pathogens are too.
And then after everyone has died, they start the natural disaster, going like, hey, there was a gas leak that killed everyone. And all your evidence is gone.
I wouldn't be shocked if the gas leak was actually the mountain dogs setting up something that gases the entire village. Especially with all of these references back to World War II. World War I, they used a shit ton of nerve gas. To the point where most of it was forbidden during World War II because of the effects it has. And if you already don't care about anything anyway and you just need to eradicate like 1,000 people really quickly in a couple of hours, that is the easiest way. One of, at least.
Irie's research indicates that the queen can only survive in Hinamizawa, and infected patients can only stay alive when they're around her.
So we're still stuck, okay.
But this is just a theory.
No.
Surprisingly, however, the doctor who first discovered the syndrome was also aware of the existence of the queen. The doctor was also knowledgeable about Hinamizawa's culture, and he was interested in how much value the village placed on the Furude family. He theorized that the queen lying in the Furude bloodline might have the power to manipulate the whole village. The truth is still unknown. But perhaps the Furude family really has held such power since ancient times, miraculous power that could make them perfect for serving in the priesthood. Although the only thing Rika can do is be doted upon by the villagers. If all this is true, then the question is what would happen if the queen disappeared from the village? What also throws me off a little bit is that Rika is explaining this to
Apparently
Her
she
friends?
just explains all of this to the others. And how did she know all of this?
Well, it's not even that, but it's the way she's saying. That's what I tripped over at the beginning. She is not explaining it this way to her friends.
This could also all be Keiichi regaling the thoughts to himself.
This is literally a third party
Third party.
This is the entity in her head explaining it to us.
In her head? Outside of space and time?
Yeah, wherever it is, doesn't matter.
Possibly.
This is just being explained to us, not to the friends.
Possibly.
She wouldn't talk like this to them. Especially not in the third form.
Yes, she would.
No, she wouldn't.
Yes, she would.
Nah. During the war, a doctor prophesied that if the queen were to die, then all the infected would show terminal symptoms, and the whole village would be wiped out. He advocated for strict preservation of the queen's host. Rika is important to Tokyo, not only because Irie found many answers after running tests on her body.
You good? Bless you.
Now I am. If Rika dies, the 2,000 people in Hinamizawa will turn into demons. It would happen too fast for people to even realize that they're getting sick. They will each be overcome with a violent persecution complex and start killing each other out of fear. This is why the dogs are protecting the queen, Rika Furude. Her death spells the end of the whole village. That's why Rika is the trump card for those who know that she's the center of the whole epidemic. This is the story of Hinamizawa. Our tale begins in June 83. Tokyo's liaison, Tomitake, was found dead of the disease, even though he was vaccinated against it. And on the same night, Takano was also kidnapped and murdered. Though I don't know for sure if she's really dead or not. Rika is also going to be murdered soon enough. While I've suspected Irie and Takano, this was my first time doubting Tokyo. I always thought that they were on my side.
She knew this in all the... Oh my... She's a little kid.
They had to be. My death would lead to nothing but disaster. Yeah, but we don't want all of this, so we get rid of all of it. At the same time, there might be people within Tokyo who would use my death as a trump card. I never considered that there were opposing factions within Tokyo. That does sound like politics. I guess I was naive enough to not realize that Tokyo had internal problems due to the generation gap. Anyway, I wouldn't be feeling this way if I didn't suspect that Takano might still be alive. I feel like I'm starting to see the greater picture. It's possible too that Takano is the victim, and Irie is the bad guy. The dogs might be on my side, or they might be the assassins who are trying to kill me. I was too scared to choose a wine that might be at risk of having something poisonous mixed in which case I could rest assured with a fresh unopened bottle, even if it was a little bad.
I told you! She told all of this to everybody now.
Yeah, but not in the way she was saying it.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Yes, she did.
She didn't say it in that way.
Ryukishi07, please come to my house and explain it to us.
After telling everything to my friends, I finally realized that I could only trust them and the police. Oh, the police even. I'm really dumb. I thought I was thinking so hard, but I never actually understood anything.
The story of my life.
After all this time, I made things clear just by talking about them with my friends. I'd never have thought it would make such a big difference. Which is why she's now going to live.
Oh. Back to reality.
Yep. And that's the end of my story.
No, you cannot say all of this and then end with meep. Oh my god.
As I thought, everyone was staring at me with their mouths open in shock. Even Ooishi wouldn't believe a story like this.
I wouldn't have been able to follow half of that if she just said all of this to me.
And now, just when we finished, 2 hours later, Ooishi walks in.
Yeah, oh, can you repeat that?
Let's start over.
So now you're too far away from me. Why
I'm not even moving. You keep pushing me.
Why are you bad at sitting? It irks me.
It's only normal. I'm sure I sound like a crazy person.
No, you haven't.
Satoko, we go to the clinic every week to help with Irie's research, right? We're actually not just helping him. We go there so you can get treatment.
I remember, you told me that Satoko is ill.
Me? As you said, it's not only me but the whole village that is infected with this disease.
Now it's much better.
Why would I have to take the shot every day and not everyone else?
I love Satoko. That is the thing she gets mad at. You've lied to me all of my life. You've lied to all of our friends. Why do I get the shots?
I thought it was just a new type of vitamin that the coach is developing.
She's the best girl.
At one point, you were a terminal patient, Satoko. That's why you need 2 shots every day to keep your symptoms under control. Irie is very passionate about saving you, but he still can't find a better treatment than that. Don't think he's not working hard to find a cure, though.
Don't you joke around. I thought we were getting financial support by aiding his research. I don't want to get those shots every day for the rest of my life.
Aww.
Satoko looked upset that she had been completely ignorant in all of this. She also didn't want to accept the reality of having to manage her condition.
Understandable.
Her fake laughter sadly echoed in everyone's ears. Keiichi opened his mouth to speak.
So, if she misses a shot, she'll react like she did the other day?
There was a day where she forgot to take her shot. She convinced herself that the principal was her uncle. Her fear escalated and she thought her uncle came inside the school to take her back home. And when she feels that way, there's no turning back for her. Yes, she will. That's why I tell her to be sure to take her shot every day.
I don't believe you. What do you mean I'm a terminal patient? Why me, exactly? I refuse to believe it. When did I even become so sick?
Satoko's face contorted as tears began to flow from her eyes. I shouldn't have said this.
Yes, you should have. She needs to know the truth.
She's starting to remember something she's not supposed to. I'm sorry, Satoko. You don't have to remember. That was just an accident. It wasn't your fault.
What is she remembering?
No, this is a lie. You're just lying to us.
What? Did she kill her parents?
The others probably had no idea what Satoko was talking about.
She did.
They don't need to know. They don't want to know about it because they're her friends.
She caused her parents to fall.
I think so too. Reina gently touched Satoko's shoulder.
Sorry, I need to rephrase. Satoko's condition caused her parents to fall. It's not, I don't think it's her fault.
She gently touched mine too. We believe your story, Rika-chan. Thank you. And you've been carrying such a heavy burden for a long time. I'm proud of you. You've been struggling all alone to this day. I never thought Reina would say something like that to me. My eyes were filling up with tears. It's difficult to have a secret that you can't tell people. Mine was hardly a big deal compared to yours. But I can still sympathize with you. I agree. You've done your best too, sis. I often shift the blame onto you to relieve myself so I can tell. You're all going to believe my story.
Of course. We said we'd believe you. It's a bit of a relief since a lot of my questions about this village are answered now. So, is everyone in this village infected by that disease, that Hinamizawa syndrome?
Yes, everyone is infected. But unlike hundreds of years ago, this disease is much weaker now. That's why people can survive even if they move far away or go somewhere far for a trip.
Yes, we can still go on vacations. But some people still get sick, right? I'll never leave this village again.
Even if you do get sick, you can still control the illness yourself. It's very simple, yet very difficult.
Like Tifa.
Sums it up.
Very simple, but very difficult.
If you think you might be suspicious of someone, don't be.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Now I'm even more suspicious.
Where did that come from? It was on the screen.
It was an actual line. Continue to trust in them. When you become too suspicious of someone, that suspicion will degenerate into a persecution complex and it will be too late. As long as everyone stays friendly and united, we will never have to worry about this disease. That's what the hippies want you to believe.
Is this a metaphor for racism?
This disease starts with anxiety.
Sorry, xenophobia I think is a better catch-all term.
Modern people don't believe in curses the way people long ago did. That might be why we're more tolerant to the disease. Aha, so to become immune, just don't believe.
Checkmate, Christians.
Just
Atheism wins again.
Believing.
No, do stop believing.
I just said that.
Don't hold on to that feeling. Do stop. I should not say.
You can be suspicious of anyone.
Psycho is infected.
But not of us.
Exactly. If you are suspicious of us, you are deranged. That's what the game just told me.
I see. Then we should be fine.
Yep. We're friends and we're family. We would never suspect each other. I'm going to believe everything that you said today. You couldn't talk because you were afraid that the mountain dogs would hurt us, right?
I nodded quietly.
Oh, no. I know what I did. Good.
I don't want to think that the dogs have bugged this room. But if Okanogi overhears this conversation, they will definitely kill not only me, but all of my friends tonight. That's true no matter who my enemy is. Well, it sounds as if we should all get ready for battle. Let's sum up the story. Someone might come and kill you, knowing that your death will cause chaos and destruction in the village. Is that correct? They will definitely come for me. Are you sure? Will they get rid of their trump card that easily?
She's quite right. A trump card is like a pile of gold. Isn't it better to keep your hands on it?
That's what Iria has been trying.
Yeah. Oh my god. There's layers to this and I don't like any of them.
Satoko's eyes were still swollen, but she had stopped crying. But think about it, Satoko. If you have more than one trump card, you'd want to play one of them right away. That's true. It's more effective to have more than one hostage. One hostage is not as valuable as many of them.
Anyway, we don't know anything for sure and that means we can't be too optimistic.
Everyone nodded in unison. What do you think about the mountain dogs? Do you think they're our enemies? That's not even a question. They're like wolves trying to watch after the sheep.
Just think of all suspicious people as bad guys. We need to seek help from someone who has nothing to do with Tokyo.
Tifa, Sadako is being suspicious. I think she needs to be called. I agree. I think you made a good choice by seeking help from the police. Ooishi-san is on our side, right?
Yes. Ooishi doesn't know everything yet, so he thinks that the culprit behind the curse of oyashiro-sama is targeting me. I think you should talk to Ooishi-san too. We need help from some adults.
But that's pretty risky. What if they don't believe her and step away from the investigation?
We should still talk to him. He said that he's going to retire this year and that it's his last chance to avenge his old friend. I'm sure he will believe any story, no matter how wild.
Yeah. He helped us when we were trying to save Satoko-chan too. I think he'll remain on our side. Okay. Let's talk to Ooishi. Where is he now? He's out in Gifu Prefecture. He went to check on Takano's body.
Yeah, about that.
Oh, she was found in Gifu, right? Burned to death inside an oil drum? Why does he have to go there directly to check on her? There's a possibility that it might not be Takano's body, but the Gifu Police Department isn't being very cooperative. You said that the mountain dogs specialize in preserving secrets and manipulating information, right? That corpse is pretty suspicious. I don't think she's the kind of person who would die just from being burned a little.
What?
It's still possible that Irie is the bad guy and he killed Takano. That's what Okanogi tried to make me believe.
He is still a bad guy because he was in bed with the bad guys the entire time. I kinda doubt that the coach is the mastermind. He's just not that kind of person. I can tell because we're both perverts.
I do agree. He's very nice as long as you don't let him talk about mates.
Or have nice skin.
As the manager of the Hinamizawa fighters, I also think the coach is innocent. He's more like someone who could be easily used. Maybe he's too good of a guy. Seems like everyone suspects Takano-san.
Well, we're just saying, if we compare the coach and Takano-san, you know, he wasn't telling a joke or not. That's a Jack level pun and I love it because of it.
Oh, that's so bad.
Takano-san would be pretty upset to hear that.
Fuck Takano-san.
Everyone laughed as though we were in the middle of a club activity.
This is the greatest game we've ever played together.
If they're after my life, they'll kill everyone here. It's very possible that they'll all get involved in this mess, and they know that. That they could still laugh is really significant, I think. I started laughing along too.
And when I smelled something that smelled like rotten eggs, we all passed out and I died.
It's odd that Takano's body was found in Gifu. If someone wanted to make it look like she killed Tomitake, they would hide her body somewhere nobody would ever find.
Being demoned away.
Burning her body in the middle of the woods is like begging people to come across it. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like they're trying to force an unidentified body to be Takano-san, just because it was found outside the prefecture and the police here can't investigate further. That's the specialty of the mountain dogs, right?
This makes sense, why did we never think about that?
That is really smart though.
Yeah.
We didn't think about it yet because we didn't realize yet that the dogs are killing her.
Yeah.
Because now it's logical because you know that part of the puzzle.
Yeah, I guess. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. The mountain dogs are working for Takano-san, right? And the leader of the dogs is saying that the manager is pulling the strings. I bet Takano-san and them are working together.
Tomitake-san died the way he did so that Coach would be suspected. But Tokyo is the only organization who would suspect the Coach. They also found the body of the true mastermind, Takano-san. Tokyo will suspect that the manager killed both of them. I see. This is a well-planned setup, though it's not perfect.
It sounds like the mountain dogs are setting the Coach up.
Well, I think we should talk to Coach directly. That's the best way to go about it.
That's a good idea. I can tell if he's telling the truth or not, just by looking into his eyes.
Try doing that in court.
No, Your Honor, I can tell. He's a good guy.
Ah, yeah, you're good at that, Reina-san.
That is her ability somehow.
The dogs are also running security on Irie right now. He might not be able to get on the phone.
Or he might be dead already. What? That sounds even more suspicious. I hope the coach isn't in danger right now.
Me too. If I was a member of the dogs, I was going to set him up. I'd kill him before he said something I don't want him to say. The dead person can't say anything, huh? Oishi will return as soon as he takes care of business in Gifu. I don't know what time that will be, but he'll be here for sure. As one, everyone glanced at the clock. It was already past 6:30 and starting to get dark.
Talking is not a free action in Hinamizawa. No wonder I'm so hungry.
We'd usually call it here if this was a normal day. But everyone decided to stay until Ooishi came back and discuss what to do.
Can we order a pizza?
Can I use your phone, Rika-chan? I need to call my dad and let him know that I'm going to be late tonight. How about we have a sleepover?
I need to call my mom too.
I have to call Granny and tell her to order something for dinner tonight. You'll be in big trouble later.
Oh god, imagine a hangry Oreo Sonozaki.
We have to get something to eat for those officers too. We can order some sushi. Everyone had a sensitive reaction to the word sushi.
Which is?
Ugh.
I'm okay with it as long as there's no fish on it.
Their stomachs were empty after all. What I do like about sushi is the rice. Can I have
Just rice.
the sushi menu A and C, but only the rice?
No seaweed, no fillings. Actually, Tifa
No
does
fish.
like I
No
forgot
sauce.
what's it called or what it's called. It's like a very thin layer of tofu in like a triangular shape, and when it gets deep fried, there's like a little bit of spices on it,
Tofu
and
skin?
they put that on a rice ball.
Tofu skin?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
Their stomachs were empty after all. The same should be true of those officers too.
We going to order something too, Rika? I don't feel we have that kind of money.
Satoko, why don't you cook a stir fry for everyone?
Oh, we all get a Satoko meal.
What? I can't. I've never cooked for this many people.
This is peak Tifa. She can cook basically anything, but the moment she needs to either make it for more people or a smaller portion, that's when everything goes wrong.
It never turns out well.
The moment math is involved, multiplying or dividing the recipe, that's when it all goes wrong with her.
I've doubled recipes or halved them before and it never turns out as nice.
Just wing it. That's what I do. Satoko stir fry? I'd love to try it as long as there's no fingers inside.
Satoko-chan, I want to eat your food too. I want to. Skill issue. You can say that again.
Indeed.
At that point, the phone rang.
I hope it's sushi.
Hello, this is Furude speaking.
Oh, glad to hear you're still alive. It's Ooishi. I finished up everything in Gifu and I'm heading toward Okonomiya right now. I'm calling from a gas station.
What about Takano's body?
We did it, we were right. Gifu made one incredible, easy mistake on their paperwork. What a stubborn bunch. I really had to let them have it, let me tell you. Takano and her vehicle are still missing. She may have some information regarding Tomitake's murder, so I've just issued a search warrant for her. I'm getting close to revealing the secret of the curse of oyashiro-sama. I'm going to solve this case.
He sounded so motivated. He'd finally found the hint he'd so desperately wanted. Could he actually solve the case, though? I'm looking forward to hearing your story.
I'm heading to your house with Kuma-chan, so please tell us whatever you know. You can talk to me about anything you can think of.
Yes. I'm ready to tell you about everything.
Oh my! I look forward to hearing it. I should be there in about an hour. It sounds crowded over there. Are your friends there with you?
Yes. Everyone came here to offer their help.
I see. I've got some wonderful friends. It's probably better for you to stay with them. A good way to keep the criminals at bay. Right, we're heading out. I'll see you soon. Was that Ooishi-san?
Yes. He's heading this way with that other detective. This is the first time this room will have so many people inside it. How many people will it be?
That's a cute thing to wonder about.
There's 6 of us here. So, 8 people. I do hope our floor won't break.
I'm the 9th person.
You a piece of shit, go the fuck away, ghost.
Hanyu, were you listening to us? This is turning out to be very interesting. Do you think it will be different this time? Yes, I'm sure. This time is different.
Don't say that you're sure.
You're the one that asked!
It would devastate you if nothing ended up changing.
So, Hanyu, you still think that I'm dying today?
I don't want you to die.
I know what you're thinking. You don't want to believe because you don't want to be hurt. That way you'll never be let down.
100% she is part of Rika's psyche.
I'm not going to listen to your opinions anymore. You just stay there and watch like the bystander you are.
Finally! Oh god. Mwah. Finally she called her out on her bullshit. Fuck you, Hanyu. Finally Rika has the nerve, the cojones to go, fuck you, you're not helpful.
Yes. I'm just a bystander, but I'm still rooting for you.
Yeah, good. Now go do that somewhere else.
Rooting for me? Thanks. But are you sure you want to root for me? Are you sure you won't be hurt if I lose?
Don't be mean, Rika.
We had a rather harmonious mood going. However, a feeling of unease was beginning to settle over us.
This episode is never gonna end.
Maybe this is the end.
Don't tell me.
Maybe not.
It's never going to end. How much more is there?
I kind of expected Kumagai and Ooishi coming there as a new episode.
I don't know.
I would be fine with starting this tomorrow and getting some sleep.
I doubt it because tomorrow is Thursday. We don't stream on Thursday.
Oh, on Friday and getting some sleep.
I think Tifa has held on long enough for today. I think Tifa has done plenty. Tifa, I'm very happy and I'm very proud of you.
Why, thank you.
Still also partially disappointed because we could easily knock another 45 minutes out and maybe finish the episode. But I'm also happy that we got where we got and I'm proud of you for hanging on as well.
Wow, still coming with overtime.
It's not overtime.
That's totally overtime.
This is a relatively short stream though, but that's fine.
Barely shorter.
And all of this with only 3 hours of sleep. So
and we did make a lot of progress.
This is the secret to how we get to finally finish Higurashi. Tifa just can't sleep anymore. Or just very little. And we get through places. Doubt 45 minutes would have ended the chapter. I think so too.
How long is this gonna be?
I think so too. Welcome in, Ruben. How are you doing?
What he said. But we did make a lot of progress today. There was a lot of info dumping.
We got a metric crap ton of answers.
Yeah, and
we now know a lot of why. Not all the why, but a lot of why.
Even though there was also a lot of new information, none of it was shocking. It was all like, okay, yeah, makes sense. There's nothing like, whoa, didn't see this coming, even though we didn't guess it. You know what I mean? It's not...
Yeah. I mean, I have a fundamental issue with every type of media that involves multiple realities, time travel, alternative universes, different worlds and all of this.
So basically every game we've played in the past 2 years, because
somehow it keeps happening.
It keeps being a part of
Not by choice, because we go into these games blind. Not by choice. It just keeps happening to us.
In every game, the plot twist is
time travel.
Time travel.
Multiple realities. No, but I generally, first of all, I don't like the trope. If it's well done, I'm okay with it. I think Higurashi is very well written, so I don't take any offense with that. But fundamentally, I I got all of the information that we got from Rika,
Me.
Tifa, Lord dumping over our faces. But I understand at face value that I finally got answers, but there is this nagging part, this nagging voice in the back of my head that goes, what if it was different in the other universes?
No, I think the main things align.
I'm pretty sure that the things we were told now are the answers that are the same for every chapter. But what if they aren't? What if chapter 8 still goes, this was all a dream after all?
Well, that's the biggest thing. What is it? What is chapter 8 going to be? Did we get the explanation of the syndrome?
Yeah. Yes, we did. The Hinamizawa syndrome, I mean, we can tell you, or you can check the VOD. We'll tell you, but you can still watch afterwards, of course. So the Hinamizawa syndrome is an actual thing. There is something like the curse of Oyashiro-sama. It's a scientific thing. It's
wait, before you go into this, Ruben, have you played through the entire series before? Because I'm guessing based on your first comment that we won't finish the chapter in 45 minutes, you have played through the entire game.
I would doubly think so because of that question and also because of syndrome. I don't think we've mentioned that before.
But it was still a part of...
Nah, it's all good. I already know the story. This series. Okay, perfect.
I'm just saying before he goes into an entire recap.
Yeah, thank you. That makes...
Because you were going for an entire recap.
That makes my answer go from 30 minutes to 30 seconds. Yes, we did get to the part where Rika explains the backdrop to the story. There's Tokyo, there is the Hinamizawa syndrome, there is the mountain dogs, all of that whole spiel. Yeah, you still need a motive, yes. Believe it or not, some people tend to be let down by the Hinamizawa syndrome explanation.
I thought it was too long. Sorry. But I'm also the person who, when it goes into that big of a thing, I go through the skip.
That's why you're an idiot and you have to learn how to double jump in games because you skipped the tutorial. Yes, Tifa. No, I think it's about that being the answer is disappointing to some people and not like how it's presented. How it's presented we can argue about. I mean, we have.
Well, it's basically the answer to...
I don't hate it.
So I think what everyone has been asking themselves since the beginning, is it supernatural or is there a logical explanation?
Yeah.
And now you come to there's a logical explanation when you probably wanted it to be supernatural.
But wait, here's the thing, and I was reading a completely unrelated, but I saw a post on Reddit earlier today where people were talking about something from a movie. I forgot what it was about. But somebody then commented, "You didn't realize, but your brain did," which I think is a quote from something, but I'm not sure. But that stuck with me because in the beginning, in chapter 1, the question you will ask yourself, and the game is making you ask yourself, is those murder cases, are they supernaturally caused? Is there an oyashiro-sama or is this man-made? Now we're at the point where they went, well, the symptoms, the reason why people do the things they do is caused scientifically, in lore scientifically, pseudoscience, because of Hinamizawa syndrome. At the same time, Hanyu is standing next to you. So there very much still is the supernatural element.
Well, we don't have an explanation for Hanyu yet.
For now.
There is...
still believe she is part of how Rika perceives the world.
Well, we do still have the whole world hopping thing, so obviously there's something.
Plus that. So it's both. It appears that both are at play here. There is the scientific, the reasonable approach, the realistic one. People are doing this for people reasons. Then there is the science fiction part. There's Hinamizawa syndrome, which, okay, I'll I'll allow it. I'm okay with it. And then there is Hanyu. Rebirth. Time rewinding. Different realities. So the answer is yes. It's all of them. It's everything. There is the scientific, logical, explainable parts, and there is the supernatural.
I'm slightly happy that there's also a logical explanation. Because if you just go through, oh, supernatural, that's too easy of a way out.
After all of the text we went through, it feels like it would have been too easy.
Yeah, like, oh, there's no answer.
It's just supernatural. Yeah, God wanted it.
Yeah.
God wanted it, and that's why it's happening. It's like, okay, cool, I get it. That works. But this way, it's like, oh, it's actually bigger than that. The question isn't anymore, are supernatural things happening? The question seems to be, why are things happening? And we, in the pursuit of the truth, just suspend disbelief far enough that we go, yeah, it's okay that there's a yokai. I don't care about the yokai right now, I care about why are things happening.
Well, I'm still waiting for that.
Which leads me back to saying I think the writing is incredible.
Because I remember someone saying the syndrome pretty much removes the character's agency and simplifies it all down to everyone is driven crazy from an external syndrome.
But that's not all there is. There is still the whole thing about I get killed and when I'm reborn in a different reality. How does that work? Why can I see a ghost? I mean, speaking from Rika's perspective. Plus, it's all suspended in this liquid of characters that we've grown very used to and familiar with, that we have feelings for. I want Satoko to be happy. So I care. I started caring. It works. I like it. I like it.
Fair.
Also, that
but
thing...
this still very much feels like the final chapter.
No, I don't think we're gonna get to the actual why did Takano do these things.
With how long this still feels?
It could be. Could be. I'm not sure.
I have a feeling that in this chapter, Rika is going to survive. And chapter 8 will wrap up all of the loose ends.
Possibly. Also, the But Your Brain Did is from Red Letter Media. Okay, I think I've watched some of her videos before. Thank you.
Doesn't ring a bell.
It's one of his better quotes next to, "What's wrong with your face?" Don't know that one, but I'll take it. To be fair, they still had the choice to trust their friends. I also view this from a meta view, like what is this a metaphor for within the themes of communication is key and stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we're still gonna get at least one more interview with Ryukishi 07, maybe where we learn what was meant with these topics. But at the same time, I also like the idea that you can interpret it a certain way. Like, hey,
talking can fix it.
If we don't suspect each other of being secret pieces of shit, our lives would be better. You know? So maybe the answer isn't racism and thinking other people are stupid because they see things differently or they have a different background. Maybe if we just all treated each other like people, the world would be a better place. I like that message.
What do we know about Takano? Yeah, and Takano is also still gonna she's still gonna have a really big part in it, and that's why I think that will all come in chapter 8.
Takano is Satoshi.
I can't see them still put that in this chapter.
I love how Tifa didn't even flinch when I said that.
I'm not even gonna respond to those things anymore.
Takano is a robot who's also Satoshi, who is actually Irie's mother. She's a clone of Irie's mother. I'm telling you, unironically, if we go with Tokyo has cloned the original Oyashiro-sama and that's Takano, and she believes it's her job to destroy the world because whatever, this isn't the demons I wanted to grow, I'd be sitting here like, this is fucking amazing. I love it. As long as the writing keeps being consistently good and I can just be taken along, I'm in for the ride. I'll accept anything at this point.
Well, at this point, even if it turned to shit, I would still finish it. Do you know how long of my life I've put into this now?
Disagree. If this all turns to shit, Delta,
We even finished that.
That was one more stream.
We finished that.
That was one more stream and we knew we were at the end. We all together decided we would hate watch the rest of that. Or hate play the rest of that.
Yeah, okay, that is true. That is true.
If we now had a twist like that here, I would tell you I would not do chapter 8. No.
Okay, fair.
This whole sunk cost fallacy of, oh, but we've spent this much time getting to this point. Yeah, fuck 'em. If it now turns to shit, I'm dropping this. This might seem weird, but no. If something sucks, don't spend your time on it. Life's too short for that.
Well, that's something you had to learn too.
Yes.
I remember when we just started streaming and we played something that was not fun, and I was like,
but we started playing it, we gotta finish it.
And actually like, oh no, we have now done one stream, now we have to finish this game. We're not gonna finish this game, it sucks.
I had to learn that, that's true. And I'm very proud of myself learning it.
Yeah, come a long way, come a long way.
Dropped World of Warcraft after 15 years and never looked back. Good on you. It's not necessarily about World of Warcraft or anything really. When you realize something you're doing is not good for you, you should stop. And you shouldn't think of, but I've spent this amount of time or money on it or this reason or that. If you
remain fun.
Realize it's not good for you, that can be habits, that can be games, that can be people around you. When you realize something isn't good for you, get rid of it. Think of the happy times you had and then just get rid of it. It's the best decision you can make. Your life will be much better afterwards.
What did you think about the sudden introduction of Tokyo? I'll be honest, didn't expect politics in Japan post-World War II being a part of the truth of Higurashi. It's not unsuspected since they brought World War into it more often during the story, so I had a feeling that was going to come back already. Plus, we already had the suspicion that there's something bigger behind the area clinic, because it doesn't make sense for this
Why does this young guy suddenly have the money to run this clinic? Why is he in charge at that age? That doesn't make sense.
Am I happy that we got so much politic info dumping? No, because that's a topic I really do not like. Is it shocking that that is in the end behind it?
Yeah.
No.
So, to answer your question, I'm perfectly fine with it, but like Tifa said, I didn't feel it was sudden. Like, the revelation came really quick. Oh, it's Tokyo, but it's Tokyo actually. But, like Psycho just posted, there are hints. The clinic is weird if you think about it. Why is the clinic there? Where does the money come from? Why is Irie the director? Where does all the money come from? That seems strange. But then also, like Tifa said, like World War II as a backdrop and the politics, the decision-making processes have been in this, I want to say, ever since chapter 2?
Yeah,
with
when
a
the
canned
dam
meat?
conflict. Now, first when the dam conflict came more into view, then you already learned about the kidnapping, the whole national... The mosquito!
I'm so glad that we have a volume cap on our microphones. It's okay. You can't,
I panicked. I have PTSD from mosquitoes.
you cannot explode the eardrums, Tifa. That's not possible. This wasn't loud. This shouldn't have been louder to you than me getting really agitated.
I didn't expect it to climb so loud too.
This one, this.
Oh, fucking mosquitoes.
I guess for me it was sudden because my first full completion of the story was from the anime. Fair enough. Nothing of World War II. Japan politics was not mentioned anywhere before this arc. Okay, fair.
Yeah, that makes
Then I
makes
would have been like,
sense.
where did that come from? Fair enough. I think it's kind of a shame that the anime... I mean, if you think about how long we've spent reading through Higurashi, the anime can't be that long. It's like, I guess, 12 episodes or maybe 26? I'm not sure.
I think 24, but don't nail me down.
I can't Google it. I cannot Google anything in Higurashi.
But honestly, I would not have started this visual novel by myself. And I said it when we started too. If I was reading this on my own, I would have dropped it after the first 2 chapters already.
Yeah.
I would not have gotten this far at all.
The start is slow, which I liked, but my associate doesn't. 2 seasons actually, 26 and 24 episodes. Okay.
Oh, okay. I knew it had 2 seasons, but I thought it was 12-12. Fair enough.
I would need to watch it, because I guess it all depends on how the pacing works. Because if you put all the text from the visual novel in it, I don't think you could feasibly do this in 50 episodes. Because anime is also a visual medium, so you don't just want to go have the people talk permanently, you know? You need to also show things, because you've got the opportunity to show things like visual storytelling. Arc 1, which was so long in visual novel, is only 4 episodes. Okay.
It was too long.
Then they probably maybe could have put the politics in earlier. Maybe.
No. I have actually seen the anime when it came out. So I don't fully remember it anymore. That was back in high school.
Yeah, I asked you a while ago, the thing Tifa remembered was the Parasite.
Yeah, everyone was like, oh no, that's not a thing, you should just play it. Okay, then I remember wrong.
Thank you for lying to Tifa. I mean, technically you didn't lie to her, it wasn't just about parasites. She was wrong when it came to that. But they cut down all the slice of life and got straight to the suspicion of mystery quicker. I think Tifa would have enjoyed the anime much better compared to a visual novel.
Yeah. I do like slice of life as well as a genre, but not
Nagashi is in episode 2. Okay. Yeah, that's a very different pacing.
Yeah, that took forever.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I'm curious to see how we're gonna pull Ooishi into this. But we're gonna find that out on Friday, because it's time to do the zoo and start catching up on some sleep.
Except we're not going to do it.
Oh, or maybe not.
I believe Skinner should be live. Skinner is live. Currently, this is the end of our stream. We're going to rate Skinner, is what I was trying to say. Sorry. I should lead with the information as it appears in my head and not just tell you what I'm looking at. It's time for us to go to bed, as Tifa so very succinctly put. So we're going to rate Skinner, who is currently streaming Lies of P. It's a Pinocchio-style Dark Soulsian game, for those of you that don't know. Stream title is Pinocchio and maybe something else. Currently it's Pinocchio. So if you cannot...
Oh, it's literally in the title. I was like, how do you know he's going to play something else?
That's why I said that's the stream title.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
So that's a stark contrast to what we've been doing. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't. Either way, if you cannot stick around for a rate, please check out Skinner whenever it's convenient for you.
Thank you all for dropping by. Hopefully see you Friday with more Higurashi, and I'm gonna let Jack say the rest.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the raid setup to happen. Nope.
Oh. I thought you were gonna say for me to press the button.
Fun chat, have a good night. Thank you, Ruben, for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to press this button now, and then we can go raid. And Tifa cannot dance with me. Thank you, everybody, for finally getting answers from Tokyo and Higurashi with us. Please come back on Friday with hopefully more answers to more questions.
Thank you.